Hello everybody and welcome along to the final Continental Tire SportsCar Challenge, not just of the year, but in this particular run of Continental being involved with IMSA. They've been an outstanding partner down through the years. They have straddled the Grand Am and IMSA ALMS days in through the United SportsCar Championship into the new golden era that we're in right now of IMSA racing here in America. And undoubtedly to me, the underlining part of that has been the quality of the racing. Jeremy Shaw is alongside me. We used to say that this was quite a well-kept secret. We couldn't keep it a secret very long, could we, once we started broadcasting full live from the track with the streaming video. This series has embraced the new technology and brought this racing to fans, not just here at the track at Mutul Petit Le Mans for this final outing in the Fox Factory 120, but to fans, new fans around the world.
Yeah, no, thankfully we failed miserably in keeping it a well-known secret because it is some of the best racing around the world. Fantastic competition, particularly this year with the introduction of TCR as a new secondary class. That will be the only secondary class for next season. But GS, wow, with the new GT4 regulations adopted last year, it's been absolutely turned that category around. Now some fabulous competition against some glorious cars. I mean, they look fantastic, and the competition is really tight.
Let's check in with the regular Continental Tire SportsCar Challenge reporter and the Continental Tire pit lane reports. I rather nicked Shea Adams' job earlier on for the countdown to green. I thought for the last one we should do something special. Shea, has everyone got out of the pit lane? Hello, Shea.
Hello, John.
Oh, not hearing Shea for some reason at the moment. Can you try again for me, Shea? Oh, you've just gone very, very quiet. Hang on, let's crank you right up. Talk to me now, Shea.
There we go.
Oh, yeah, right, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, everyone cleared the grid, which is the best news. And even though we're down a car from where we started in the weekend, the 33 Windward Racing car will not be taking the green flag. Everybody else is on track, and these cars look good to go racing for one more time in 2018.
I can see, by the way, why you're always talking about getting the right training shoes and keeping fit between races. That's a long grid to walk down and countdown to green, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And imagine doing that over and over and over and over. And that's basically pit reporting. It's so much fun.
I really enjoyed that, going back to my roots. 2 hours is on the clock. We'll hear from Shea and Nick Damon in a little while too, as our second Continental Tire pit lane reporter. We've pulled out all the stops for this final race of the Continental Tire SportsCar Challenge. Jeremy, as far as things go on the championship, well, in GS, talk to the guys down there at TGM. They are pretty much home and hosed. TCR and ST.
Yeah, not so much in either of those two categories. Really, just as once Hugh Plum and Owen Trinkler take the start, they're pretty much confirmed as champions. In TCR, however, the two teammates from Compass Racing, the number 77 car and number 74, Britt Casey Jr. and Tom Long, who start on the front row, lead their Rodrigo Salas and Kuna Whitmer by just 5 points coming into this final race of the season. So if Salas and Whitmer win, then Tom Long and Britt Casey Jr. need to finish just as a worst in third position. ST, it's also fairly close. It's 16 points separate Nick Galanty and Gavin Jones, but the way the points are, again, they will tie up the championship at the start of this race. But the Manufacturers' Championship in ST, not so fast, because BMW leads Mini by just 2 points coming into this final round. So whichever of those two finishes ahead will be the champion for 2018.
The point I made in the countdown to green, Jeremy, they are partner brands, both part of the BMW empire. Friendly rivalry might not be that friendly, and there are more Minis than there are BMWs. This might be a chance for that 21 Porsche to get in on the act there this weekend, and that car's a little bit lighter on its Continental tyres.
Yeah, it could well be, certainly, because the Mini, with all that horsepower going through the front wheels, it puts those those front tires through a lot of stress. The BMW, though, it's really, really fast. It's been on the pole pretty much every race this season except for one. It's going to be tough to beat.
Keys to the race here: execute the pit stop, get your tactics right, have a bit of patience. Let's go racing. The Fox Factory 120 is the final green flag of the IMSA Continental Tire SportsCar Challenge. They're underway across the line, and straight away it is from the second row Spencer Pumpelly, who jumps into second position at the first corner. Can he get it done? He got a really good launch, but in the second phase he was just repassed by Corey Fergus trying to go around. No, he's made it. Pumpelly goes through into second position, splitting the two McLarens. Remember, they're from different teams. They are the same manufacturer, but they are from different teams, so no quote-unquote team orders there. And it was a very good start from pole position from Paul Holton.
Yeah, a little bit conservative there from Corey Fergus. He lagged behind a little bit at the start, and Spencer Pumpelly said, thank you very much indeed, I'll take that position. He did going into turn one. Corey tried to fight back, but the pass was already made effectively, so it will be Porsche splitting those two McLarens. And in the fourth position, Tyler McQuarrie for that Peregrine Racing Carbine Autosport Audi, making a good start into fourth place. That car coming off its first ever podium finish last time out at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca.
2 hours time certain race, first lap, not the time to be a hero, particularly if you're in the championship. Team TGM celebrating. Hugh Plum down in the pit lane, high-fiving the team because Owen Trinkler got to the line, and that means that they now are confirmed as Drivers' Championship, and that means such a lot to the whole team. It's not just those two drivers in the 46 car, it's the Guy Cosmo and also Ted Giovannis from the 4 car, and the whole squad for both of their cars. They have worked long and hard for this, and I think that'll be a popular victory in the championship, to be honest, Jeremy, because that's a cracking team that Ted Giovannis has put together.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, a lot of passion there, a lot of experience as well. Giovanni on the pit wall over masterminding things. A former very successful driver in his own right. He's pretty understated, is Joe, but I tell you what, he gets the job done. And Ted Giovannis, hats off to him for putting together an organisation and getting the results. Now, in Trinkler and Hugh Plum, they've been a super combination this season. Just come on super strong in the final part of the campaign, and that's of course when it matters.
Full live streaming in sound and vision from here at Road Atlanta, and at the moment Paul Holton using the advantage of pole position to pull away from Spencer Pumpelly in the 28 RS1 Porsche in second, and Corey Fergus in the Mia McLaren in third position. Tyler McQuarrie, another mid-engine car, top 4 all mid-engine cars, the 39 Audi from the second row of the grid, just holding on to that fourth position ahead of Pat Gallagher, who's in the first of the Fords. That's the first front engine car, the Ford Mustang. That's the number 8 car as they stream down again into the braking area at the bottom of the hill and turn left and right through that chicane area. In TCR, Tom O'Gorman has made good his escape in the number 12 Audi, and he's actually got past a couple of 3GS cars as well, and that's good news. Oh, but not good news for the number 92 Mercedes-Benz. That's coming out of the chicane area at the bottom of the hill. Now, who started the 92, Jeremy? Can you remember?
Ramsey, yeah,
it was Mark, was it? Yeah. So he's spun out and is facing the wrong direction, and that car's dug itself in, and this, I think, is going to be our first safety car. What a shame, as the TCR battle goes over the top of the hill, and right in between that is the Automatic Racing Aston Martin, and it looks like Luke Rumberg's got by that in the Golf, has he? No, he hasn't. He's been held up, and he's lost a couple of places because of that to the Audis of Tom Wrong and Kieran O'Rourke. So Luke struggling getting past the faster car on the straight. Oh, and the Volt Lightning car has gone round as well. That's Alan Brynjolfsson, the bright yellow car, and there's been some kind of contact there because the front of the car is deranged and steaming badly. I bet Alan Brynjolfsson is as well. And he has gone off at turn 7, yeah.
Surrounded by Fords, the number 22 car ahead of him, number 60 right behind him as well. And that's a pretty heavy impact at the front end of that car.
That's coming out of turn 7, is it?
Yeah, so he must have
well,
gone off then on between 6 and 7.
Brynjolfsson with damage to the front of that car has at least got it going. It's going to eat its own front spoiler. He's trying to get it to the inside of the track and off the circuit, which he has done. There is a little cut through there, and therefore he will not hold up proceedings. But Mark Ramsey's 92, that lovely dark red Mercedes-Benz, is in the gravel after the chicane at the bottom of the hill. And so that will still need recovery. And so we're into our first full course yellow with Paul Holton from pole position leading overall. Tom O'Gorman in TCR. And as far as the ST battle is concerned, Max Faulkner, excuse me, did get ahead of the BMW. Thought that Porsche was looking pretty nippy. And up into 32nd position, and Nick Galante just jumped off the start from pole position. I'd normally say welcome to a guest, but I would much rather that this man was sweating and biting his nails, ready to get in the car and go and do the second stint, joined from Winward Racing by Damien Faulkner. This was not the weekend, to paraphrase a Star Wars quote, this was not the weekend you were looking for.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Well, not
in
good
Road
to
Atlanta.
be here.
Not particularly
now,
within these walls, but yeah, very disappointing. You can't really believe it, to be honest. Just when we had a fantastic car as well yesterday, and
both you and Russell topped the times at various times. You were
that's right,
top of the session. The car looked really nicely balanced. You were flicking it around. You both looked pretty confident, and then it ends up in the wall.
Yeah, one flick too many.
Well,
yeah, that's it. And unfortunately, it was chassis damage to the front, so that rendered it useless for the rest of this weekend anyway. So
a couple of third place finishes, scant reward for what's been a pretty competitive season, and you must be a little bit frustrated about that. But the whole team's had some awful luck this year, whether you've been running 1, 2 or 3 cars.
Yeah, certainly. I think we've been a good customer of Mercedes-Benz, that's for sure. AMG, probably more than what we wanted to. But yeah, it's strange. It's been a strange season. But you know, the guys have worked hard, and you know, we are where we are. It's a very tough class as well.
By the way, the 92 car is back out the gravel and now moving under its own steam. So this will be a quickie yellow. I think the pits are still closed. Yes, they are. And so they will not open, says Shea Adam, but we will split the GS and TCR and ST class split there. So
what that means that they start the race in the order GS, then TCR, then ST, and they will do the same now. They'll do that same class split now. And that's bad news for people like the TCR leader, Tom O'Gorman, because he'd already made his way past half a dozen GS cars, and many of the TCR cars are quicker than some of the slower GS cars, and that just makes things really difficult at the start, and it'll be the same here at the restart.
In countdown to green, Tom O'Gorman was telling me that in the first sector, their car was the 5th fastest car. 5th fastest car. So 4 GSs quicker than him in the first sector, and that's it. Yeah. So that'll tell you how nimble those TCR cars are.
But as Damien will tell us, it's awfully difficult to make a pass in this first sector, isn't it? With that downhill S's, Damien, there's virtually no way to pass a car, however much faster you are than it.
Yeah, that's right. And also, there's virtually no straight in the first sector. You're always turning. So, and they've got quite a bit of downforce. They're not too shabby at all in the corners. Yeah, it's fabulous circuit here.
Damo was saying, not the way you wanted to end. You wanted to be out on the circuit. It's the last race in Continental Tire. You've been involved with Winward since before Winward was Winward. You've brought Bryce and Russell Ward on from competent club races onto the international scene. Have you enjoyed that? Because that's a slightly different challenge from just driving a car and looking after yourself, isn't it? When you help pull a team together and mentoring a couple of drivers.
Yeah, and it all comes with experience, to be honest. You know, I've been lucky enough to be part of IMSA for many years now, and so that experience
Before that,
was
had
called
a career in Indy Lights, let's not forget, when you first came over here.
Yeah, actually, we did an Indy Lights race in which I finished third here that supported the ALMS in 2001.
I remember
saw the
that.
Audi on the start-finish wall down there.
Yeah.
Won that year. But yeah, no, it was a fantastic challenge. It was great to be part of it. You know, the satisfaction of bringing two drivers and
Have you had to
essentially they
learn
did
new
lemons.
things? Have you had to learn new things in doing that?
I think, yeah, you have to. I mean, it's coaching is much more about reading telemetry. It's much more than that. It's like a football coach or football manager.
We'll come back to Damien in a moment. We're going back to green, and Paul Holton sees the green flag first and sets away. He's got 0.6 of a second on Spencer Pumpelly. That's the second time today, second time this week that a safety car coming down the pit lane and catching my eye right underneath me has really panicked me, because I thought someone had gone an awful long way off coming out the final corner, but it was just the BMW safety car going back to its station at the end of pit lane on driver's left. Good restart from Pumpelly. Tom O'Gorm, I don't think the class split happened completely there, Jeremy, if I'm not mistaken, because there's still a few GSs that are embroiled in TCRs, and Tom O'Gorman will be delighted about that, although Tom Long will be loving it as well, because he's right behind the TCR leader as well.
Yeah, there had been one car between them after the first couple of laps of the race, so he's got to do it again now as Tom O'Gorman. As you talked about on the grid, he only did the one qualifying lap, so his Continental Tires are
brand
really
new.
good job.
Honestly, I was only partially joking when I said to him I didn't think you were allowed to put a new set of tyres on. One out, one flying, one in. That's the way to go qualifying, Damo, isn't it?
Yeah, it takes a lot of experience to do that, doesn't it? It's very difficult to switch it on in one lap.
End of an era for so many things, including your time with Winward Racing. Time to leave? Time to move on? What's the thinking?
Yeah, just a new challenge, would be nice. Like I say, I've had a great time. Thankful for the opportunity that the awards have given me. Brilliant time building up the team, coaching them, and
had fun with the Mercedes-Benz?
Yeah, absolutely. That was part of my job as well, or decision, if you like, to go the Mercedes route. Introduced the HTP element to it as well, a team that I race with in Europe. So I've had a large part to play in the team, gained a lot of experience as well, and hopefully they've gained a lot of experience from me. So yeah, time to move on and looking for the new challenge.
And do we know what that is yet? Is it going to be over here in IMSA? Are you going to go back to Europe? What do we know? What can you tell us? Are you going to give us the skinny?
I just live back in Europe. No, I want to be racing here in IMSA, to be honest. It's a fantastic umbrella, loads of series under it. Either the WeatherTech or the Continental Series or both. No, just pounding the tarmac this weekend and speaking to teams and have some leads and got a lot of experience, of course, a lot to offer, but it's just finding the opportunity, the right opportunity, really to win.
Well, we wish you the best in that. That's a different part of the Racing Drivers Challenge. We'll hope to see you back in your natural environment very soon. Indeed, Damon Faulkner, thank you for everything over the last few years in your time with Winward Racing, and say thanks to the Wards as well for what they've done for this championship. I'll shake your hand and say
thank you,
good
John.
luck to you, fella.
Thank you. I hope to see you soon.
Aye, absolutely. Damon Faulkner then joining us live here for the final Continental Tire SportsCar Challenge race in this IMSA era. It's gone now, I can say this. You can do a lot worse if you're an aspiring team coming into Conti or IMSA than to find Damo's number, Jeremy, because he's done a cracking job in helping put Winward together. The HTP connection doesn't hurt either, and my goodness, he knows the way around these circuits. GTC he raced in a few years ago, he's done that Indy Lights with the downforce, and now the GT4. A wealth of experience, and clearly can pass that on as well, which not every driver can do, Jeremy, can they?
No, that's right. He's certainly been very much responsible for the growth of Russell Ward, who's been super fast on at least a semi-regular basis, and very, very quick on an occasional basis. Unfortunately, yesterday, his enthusiasm perhaps got the better of him. Made a mistake going down to the S's, collected the wall, but it's still been a very good season for that team in terms of the progression they've made toward being fully competitive.
And they'll build on that, I'm sure, for 19 is where we are next year. Let's go to the battle in ST. Another team who have thrown heart and soul and a lot of other stuff into it as well is the Bimmer World team. Nick Gallant lost the lead off the start to Max Faulkner. He's got it back in that dark purple machine with the names of Alzheimer's sufferers on there that has raised somewhere over $140,000 for Alzheimer's research. And not all of that coming from the people who have done it to put the names of their loved ones on the car. Nick Gallant's sponsors have quadrupled the amount of money that came from public subscription, and that's gone into the Race to End Alzheimer's charity, one of a number of teams who really have ramped up their social responsibility above and beyond the call of duty. And it's first and second for BMW and Porsche at the moment, as Max Faulkner refuses to let Nick Gallant get a little dark purple spot in the distance. Meantime, at the front of the field, it's another Porsche in second position, that being Spencer Pumpelly, who is just about a second or so away from the leader, who is Paul Holton. The McLaren leading out, the number 76 car going through the chicane behind them. Championship leader Owen Trinkler has Jeff Mosing behind him. Actually, he hasn't, because that's the 15 car. So Owen's just overtaken the Ford, and he's now got Martin Barkey ahead of him. And Shea Adams saw that pass happen, and it was not one for the faint-hearted now that the championship is clinched for the 46 Mercedes-Benz.
It was a brilliant move, John. Owen went 3 wide down the start-finish straight because he had Martin Barkey in the 80, and he got a really good draft off of Barkey and managed to overtake the 15 car going into turn 1, made it stick. So that is Owen Trinkler now engaged in full-blown battle mode.
Fantastic. Good stuff. As that battle continues in the middle teens of the, actually just outside the top 10 actually, that's 11th on downwards, 12th on downward, with Jab Briscoe ahead of the, Chase Briscoe, excuse me, ahead in the number 11 car. So a little bit of sparring I feel going on at the moment, Jeremy, at the front of the field. This is the warmest conditions that these guys have run in, and they'll not be wanting to take too much out of the Continental tyres early on. We know, in particular, the Mercedes, and Owen Trinkler was the best of the Mercedes in qualifying. We know the Mercedes in particular are good on a long run. Yeah, they are. I mean, you look at the relative weights of the cars, and McLaren's weigh in at 1,500 kilograms, same as the Ford Mustang, a little bit heavier, 1,545, but the leading Audi in the fourth position, I should say, is 1,470 kilograms, so that's a little bit lighter, and then the Porsche came in significantly lighter. That's the car Spencer Pumpelly running in second place and really dogging the wheel tracks of Paul Holton at this stage. So Spencer Pumpelly for that RS1 team, that was a champion team from last year, let's not forget. Spencer himself won the ST championship also for that team, and they he's in the perfect position right now, is Spencer Pumpelly, in second place, hanging on to the back of Paul Holton. He knows his car is going to be more consistent on the long run. So still an hour and 41 minutes. The TCR battle heating up as well. O'Gorman and Long with 2 seconds between them. But the battle for third and fourth is, well, it's not even an Audi's width, or length rather, between those two. As Kira Rourke in the number 10 has the 54 of Michael Johnson behind him, and side by side for the lead as Spencer Pumpelly tried to go and take the lead away from Paul Holton. Did Paul just stumble coming out of turn 7 because they were alongside each other, and the Porsche coming from a very long way back down at the bottom of the hill into the complex, but can't make the pass. Now this is interesting. We said there was a bit of sparring going on. They've got 2.5 seconds between themselves and the chasing pack, which is headed by Corey Ferguson, the second of the McLarens. That's the Mia McLaren, the number 69 car. But if these guys start fighting, Jeremy, that gap could disappear very, very quickly indeed.
Well, it could, and that's one thing certainly that Paul Holton's got to keep his mind on, because the McLaren is good on the straights, The Porsche is very nimble through the corners, a lot lighter. Looking here, going through the S's, how quickly he's closed right up onto the tail of the McLaren as they sweep down the hill.
Great battle for the lead. We've got another guest we'll introduce you to in a moment on our live broadcast here from trackside. The final IMSA Continental Tire SportsCar Challenge, not just of this season, but of the Continental Tire era. And again, the leaders are side by side, and Pumpelly makes it stick this time out of 5 and into 6. Now, is there an issue with the McLaren? Because it was slow out of 5 there, and Pumpelly got a good exit, but it didn't look to be that much better as they came out of 5 and into 6. Now, on the back straight, looks like Paul Holton's just weaving around a little bit. Did he make a mistake? Yes, he did. Well, that was 6 into 7, my apologies.
I think he also realised that at this stage in the race, the Porsche is fast. I mean, it's just a quick car. It's the McLaren, you can see how much bigger it is, just physically, and it uses its tyres a little bit harder than the Porsche Cayman. Yeah, both mid-engine cars, perhaps, sort of, kind of, but the Porsche is very, very nimble, and it's lighter, and therefore at this stage Paul Holton wants to make sure still even now he's not taking too much out of that car.
Let's welcome Scott Hargrave to our booth and to our race coverage. How are you doing, Scott? Good to see you.
I'm doing fantastic, thank you.
Now, I know you've got to run because you've literally got a plane. You have got to fly. So we've got to let you go. How are you doing? You're wearing the FAF polo shirt at the moment. How's things going? We haven't talked about you for a little while.
Yeah, it has been a little while. Obviously, I've been out racing in other places, but the big news, the really exciting news that just came out today is that I'll be returning to IMSA, and not only returning to IMSA, but moving up into the IMSA WeatherTech SportsCar Championship for 2019 with FAF Motorsports, and Zachary Robichon as my co-driver.
Right, we'll talk to Zach in a moment, but he's a bit special, Zach, isn't he?
Well, you know, he's been winning a lot, so you can't ask for anything better than that, right? How much
does the development series that you guys have come through, the single manufacturer series, how much does that prepare you for moving up through your racing career? We always talk about it in the broadcasts, Jeremy and I, about learning different things in the Porsche Championship, particularly how to manage your tyres because you don't have a pit stop. Is that important? Do you feel you've learned something that will stand you in good stead?
Very much so, especially because in the single make series, everybody has the same equipment. It really comes down to how good of a job you can do as a driver and, you know, obviously the setup of the car. But because everybody has such a close package, you really have to maximize it, and so making sure you make your tires last. Yeah, making a close battle there. But yeah, making sure you have your tires last to the end of the race, and of course, making sure that the car is optimally set up. It's been a big help and a lot of fun.
Now, what I see there, and you tell me what you see as a driver, as we're watching the battle in ST between Nick Gallant in the Bimmerwell BMW and Max Faulkner in the Porsche that sits in behind. Nick pushing very, very hard indeed, and I would reckon that he's slightly overheating his rear tyres there because the back end of that BMW is starting to move around quite a lot. Not coming out of the corners, but going into them.
Yeah, certainly. It looks like he's pushing quite hard. You know, it's obviously a really close battle here in ST, and it looks like Faulkner is really on it. So we'll see. You know that
you
Porsche
can't
is light.
cruise in these races, though, can you?
No, and of course the Porsche is pretty light, so it might have the advantage in the long run. But yeah, it's gonna be close.
When do you get behind the wheel of the? Sorry, we should have said. And what car will you be using?
Of course, Porsche 911 GT3R, and it'll be the 2019. The
I was going to say, is that the brand new one? Because that car's just been announced. Have you had a look at it yet?
No, just pictures.
I have.
And that's a full season program?
No, that'll be in the Sprint Championship.
In the Sprint Championship, yes.
Yeah, those are the shorter races. Oh, puncture for the 28 Porsche. Oh, the RS1 car has a problem at the left front. Now, was that contact? That car coming through the field.
Pumpelly, isn't it?
And it is Pumpelly out of second position. So he was battling for the lead. And he'll have to come into the pit lane, and does. Championship implications here, Jeremy, straight away, because he's not done anywhere near enough time to make this irregular pit stop and try and adjust strategy. This is just absolute time that's being lost here, Jeremy.
Yeah, that's most unfortunate because he'd made the move and he was looking strong at the front of the field there, but whatever happens there, looks like certainly a problem on that left front of the car. Whether there was contact, I don't think really come across many back markers. He's passing the 52 Mini, but I don't know what happened.
Let's go down to Shea Adam, the former leader, left front puncture. Shea, any other damage on the car?
No, thankfully. They are changing the left side tires while they have Spencer in here and giving Spencer Papelli fresh rubber on his home track when he knows he has a car that is capable of winning. They are just working on the left front now, finishing the refueling. Car comes off the air jacks and Spencer is sent back out with new left sides.
Okay, 2 tyre stop only from that Continental Tire pit lane report from Shea Adam. Nick Damon has joined us down there as well. We get to him in the more regular pit stops. 1 hour 35 minutes to go. Remind us, Jeremy, of the minimum driver times here in these 2-hour races, and obviously the Fox Factory 120 is a 2-hour race.
Yeah, 45 minutes you have to do each driver to be eligible for championship points.
Ugly gash in the tyre, but that may have been caused after the tyre had deflated, of course. That doesn't necessarily mean that happened, but the Continental Tire engineers will be looking at that to see if it was contact or something that has been picked up or hit. And he just understeered off at turn 6, so it looks like it may have going into turn 6. That's a horrible halfway around the track. He's had to get back. Quick final word with Scott Hargrove before he's got to disappear as the battle for third goes the way in TCR, goes the way of Stephen Simpson, working with the hand controls, of course. Michael Johnson, who started that car, Stephen Simpson will take it over, and Michael working with the hand controls, of course. Stephen Simpson giving us a really nice tour of that car with Nick Damon earlier on the weekend. He uses the regular controls, Michael using the developed hand control system on that Audi TCR car. So Scott, when do you get in the new GT3R for GTD next year?
Well,
not soon enough, obviously.
Yeah, exactly, not soon enough. It doesn't sound like we get to test until probably the new year, just because of the delivery of the car.
Wow, that's going to be tight to get it to the Raw and stuff like that.
Well, because it's the Sprint Championship, our first race isn't until May in Mid-Ohio.
Good point, well made and nicely presented. I shall remember that when I ask questions. All good. Fly well, enjoy. Great to have you back.
Yes, thank you very much. Thanks for having me, guys.
Scott Hargrove, and we'll speak to Zachary Robichon in a moment or two. Thank you, Scott. As that is a very exciting development. Meantime, on the track here for IMSA Continental Tire SportsCar Challenge, still an hour and a half to go. And Michael Johnson clearing off in that number 54. As now got up into third position ahead of Kieran O'Rourke, Tom O'Gorman and Tom Long, now separated by 6 seconds as Tom O'Gorman got back into the groove after the restart.
Yeah, he's checking out now is Tom O'Gorman, but the guy who's not on the move here is Andrew Davis, local driver, of course, from Bogart in Georgia, just a few miles away from here. Andrew Davis is in number 71 Rebel Rock Racing Chevrolet Camaro, up into 5th position. He started 8th and he's made several passes since then. Most recently, he's found a way past Patrick Gallagher with that number 8 Ford. So that Rebel Rock Chevy Camaro is really moving up nicely. One car that's gone missing over the last couple, that's number 59 car.
Yeah, Joey Atterbury.
Joey Atterbury. So that's some sort of a problem there.
Shea Adam can give us a Continental Tire pit lane update on the Joey Atterbury car.
When it came into the pit lane, it was emitting a white smoke and it went straight behind the wall, did not stop in its box.
Right, okay, a little bit of an issue coming down the S's a couple of moments ago for the number 57 Mercedes-Benz. Ooh, nasty wiggle. Did well to keep that car out of the wall. Not sure who started that car. Was that Bryce Ward? Yes, it was. Well, I'll tell you what, whatever happened there, Bryce did a cracking job. We're going to call him Fast Hands Bryce Ward now, after keeping that one out of the wall. Zachary Robichon with us. It was a sharp intake of breath from all of us there. You don't often get a wiggle like that in the middle of the S's and keep it out of the concrete.
Yeah, definitely. It's been the S's is pretty sketchy, and having raced today in the P3 car and the Cup car, I can definitely tell you that it's been interesting. It's actually the track's changed quite a bit over the last couple of days, so it's I think he probably won't be the only one who's struggling in through there.
Have we got to start calling you Mr. Porsche GT3 Cup now after the season? 19 victories at the checkered flag. You've got to take 18 trophies at home. Heck of a season for you, young man. I'm going to ask you what sounds to be a stupid question, but I'm asking it anyway. Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, it's been one of those years. It's a little bit of a dream come true. You never actually expect it's going to happen, and people say it's, you dream about it, but to be honest, I don't think you can dream that it would go that well. So it's been great, and I've been supported by such a great team at Mark Motors at home, and with more speed here in the States.
Mark Motors was your substantive championship in the Ultimate 94 Championship north of the border, another IMSA Yokohama Tire Championship for Porsches. That you cleaned up on. Was it 11 out of 12 victories up there? All right, so that was all right. And then, how did the whole Moorspeed thing come about, and you get to come and do pretty much the last half of the season south of the border?
Yeah, it was unfortunate circumstances that brought us together with some family issues with Will Hardiman, but luckily, it seems like everything's going well over there. But he just had to take a step back for the end of the year and focus on that. So David was able to put it together.
Moore from Moorspeed,
yeah, David Moore, and he was able to put it together, and he showed a lot of confidence in bringing me here, and he's a true racer, so he wanted to be at the races and showcase the car, and I was just lucky enough to be in that situation.
And it's led to exactly the reason that young drivers go motor racing and push themselves and try to get on an event package like IMSA. It's led to the next step on the ladder for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm lucky enough to be partnering up with Pfaff Motorsports for next year, and running that GT3R with Scott in the GTD Sprint Championship, which is really a dream come true for me, and I think we're gonna have lots of fun. We got lots to learn as a team, but it'll be good.
I mean, you two are more used to battling against each
That's
other
right.
at the racetrack.
You have to stop that, mind. Stop that. You'll have to share. You'll have to share your homework now and share the data.
Every now and then we play nice.
Well, I've seen the new GT3 car because it was at Rennsport, so I've had a good nose around it. I've spoken to some of the drivers who have helped develop it. It's a beautiful looking and sounding thing. I think it'll race very well. Excited to take on the new challenge?
Absolutely. It's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a big learning curve. I'm going to lean on these guys. They've had the experience with the previous generation GT3R, so look at all the information I can, and I think it'll be lots of fun.
Well, we wish you all the best with that. Taking the advantage, Jeremy, of that new Sprint Championship in the WeatherTech series, which is, if you like, the mirror image of the long distance, what we're calling the Tequila Patron North American Endurance Championship. The shorter races come together, and from a business point of view, that seems like it's working from a number of teams, George.
I completely agree. I mean, the whole developmental system kind of works here, and I think every aspect of the IMSA paddock is looking strong right now. These are happy days.
Zach, good luck, mate, and fabulous season
Thank
this
you very
year.
much.
You've done it from the front. You've had to fight through once in a while as well. You're clearly a talent for the future. We'll make sure we look out for your name, and everyone who's been watching and listening will be able to say, yes, I remember him when he was doing Porsche GT3 Cup. Good luck, mate. Have a good off-season.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers. Zachary Robertson joining us here, who has been Mr. Porsche GT3 Cup, both sides of the border here. Let's get back to what's on the track. We're still only just 33 minutes in to this race, so we're not yet into the window. Ford Mustang, the bright white machine coming down the hill, is the number 22, and that is Chase Briscoe, sitting in 9th position, part of this Ford Development Driver Initiative that we've seen at various times this year at the Continental Tire SportsCar Challenge, and it's worked well for them, Jeremy.
It has. Chase Briscoe, Cole Cusker, Ty Majeski, Austin Cindric, all part of that program. They've all raced periodically with this Multimatic Motorsports team during the season, and they've been clearly been very fast learners. And Chase Briscoe won the road course race at Charlotte for the Xfinity Series a couple of weeks ago, and he credited his training in this championship, the handful or so races he has done, to put him in a position to be able to win that race. Hats off here to a couple of drivers. We look watching. Number 39 cars found a way past the McLaren. So Tyler McQuarrie, the drifting star, had made that move, but now the McLaren, the straight line speed of the McLaren looks like it's going to tell. But the Audi is very nimble, and he's pulled up 4 or 5 car lengths, hasn't he? But that's a super battle for second place. They're only a second or so behind the race leader Paul Holton.
Talking about the driver development program and people coming in using this for experience and honing their skills as drivers. Here's Austin Cindric on this Continental Tire pit lane update with Shea Adam.
Austin, you've been doing so much driving this year, but your first time back in this paddock since January. Just how hard is it to slot back into the Ford Mustang GT4 versus the Ford Mustang you drive in the Xfinity Series?
Honestly, it feels like home. It's really cool to be back with Multimatic and everyone at Ford Performance for making this happen for the NASCAR guys. I mean, like I said, this is like coming home for me, but to kind of have a team building experience almost with these guys and really be able to get here and almost let our hair down a little bit. And on or off weekend, all the Cup cars are racing in Talladega this weekend, and the Xfinity guys have the weekend off. So it was, I haven't had an off weekend since the middle of January, and where do you find me at a racetrack? So I wouldn't have it any other way.
Good man. Now, looking forward to the race. Is the only goal to come here and win?
Yeah, why not? I mean, you want to bring home some hardware. I think today's a little more of an uphill climb than I would have liked, but we're in it for the battle, and if not, I'll still have fun. I love racing at this racetrack. It's one of my favorite places to go to, and just happy I get to be here driving a race car.
Good luck for today, and good luck next weekend.
Cool, thanks, Rick.
Very balanced young man ever since he was a much younger man, in fact. I first met him down in Australia driving for Betty Klemenko in the Erebus Mercedes, as it was then, in the Bathurst 12 hours. Been very impressed with Austin Cindric. Takes nothing for granted, works very, very hard indeed. Battle for second position is hard as well. Down through the final corner, and Corey Fergus in that McLaren is just about holding on to second position. They've got traffic ahead. Here's an opportunity for Tyler McQuarrie down the inside of turn one, side by side. One of them will have to give way. Actually, they both did. That was really sensible driving there. Oh, in amongst the TCR midfield now, the Volkswagen just ahead of them. Now they're quick through this centre, this first sector. There'll be no way through for Corey Fergus, and he will get held up. Oh, there's a line of ST cars and TCRs coming through there. This is danger time here for the McLaren driver, the Mia McLaren driver with Tyler McQuarrie almost fastened to the back. The McLaren goes wide on the runoff at turn 5. They're side by side with traffic ahead of them. They can't do that through the cars ahead of them. Some of them will have to give way. Somehow Corey Fergus holds on. They're 3 wide ahead of him going through turn 7. Golf on the inside, then another TCR car, then one of the ST Minis, and somehow they've managed to pick their way through. That looked like Forza on the Xbox.
And that was an opportunity move there by Tyler McQuarrie. The Audi just nip around the outside, clear that car, but the McLaren just very frustrated. Comes back on the straight. It's going to power past again, I think, going down the hill. But a super battle between these two. Paul Holton, he's not getting away. Got to give a shout out here to Ari Baylog in car number 19. He's not a professional driver, but he qualified his best qualifying effort of the season in 13th position for Stephen Cameron Racing. Number 19 BMW is up into the 8th position and really doing a good job in car number 19. That's that new livery this weekend, kind of white and black livery for Stephen Cameron Racing, just coming down the hill now through turn 12 as he puts a lap on the number 4 car, Ted Giovannis. But hats off to Ari Baylog. He'll be handing over that car to Gregory Learfouge for the second half of the race.
And a big accident at turn 1 involving those cars. That's the Audi, and the battle for second has come to grief. They look like they both got going again. Nick Damon was watching that from the pit lane. Looked like the 39 and the Audi. Yes, that's going again. And it would have, I think, was Corey Fergus in the 69 Mia McLaren. No, it wasn't. It was the 92 car in all of that dust cloud. So that's a car that was being lapped at the time those cars were coming through. Oh, and the FAF number 74 off at turn 6. That was Rodrigo Sales and Kuno Whitmer's car.
Championship. He was going for the championship. They were second in the points coming to this weekend, just 5 points out of the lead. There goes that championship.
And the car is going nowhere, and the safety car has been scrambled. The pits are closed. Oh my goodness me, drama with the car nosing heavily into the wall just before turn 6. The incident at turn 1, Tyler McQuarrie going down the inside of the dark red number 92 Mercedes. Now, we've already
Ramsey
seen.
Never saw him clearly.
Yeah, Mark never, absolutely.
And, he's a lap car. He's already a lap down. He should be getting out of the way, quite frankly.
Very odd one for the TCR Audi, though. The 74 Cups 360 car. Haven't really been able to work out whether he jumped or he was pushed. Jason Lee went in there backwards yesterday. in one of the Porsches in the Porsche race. He actually managed to get a little bit further down and hit the tyre wall further down rather than clouting the wall on driver's left. Well, that is very unfortunate for a car that was battling for the championship. You never want to see anybody's championship aspirations end like that, Jeremy. And Kuno Wittmer won the GT Le Mans Championship back in 2014. Oh, there was somebody nearby there. Well, there was a BMW in there, but I don't think there was contact. But I think Kuno was offline.
It wasn't Kuno, it was Rodriguez.
It's Rodriguez, is it? Who's in the car? My apologies. I think... yeah, Rodrigo Sales out of the car and walking without aid, pats the safety worker on the back as much as to say, yeah, I'm fine. But I think he's a bit cheesed off. He was offline to driver's right with traffic coming through. Maybe just lost it on the brakes. There was a BMW it wasn't the BMW, it was the Camaro that was... No, it was the BMW. I shouldn't have second-guessed myself. I don't think there was a touch there, though. On the back there, it was the
hard to say
BMW that was involved. The 81... no, it wasn't the 81 BMW, was it? Because that car's in different colours this weekend. It was the white, red and black machine, which is the 19 car coming through the field. So that was Ari Baylock in 7th position, who was having a bit of a battle. Tyler McQuarrie was close there as well. It's Stacey in the Ford, all sort of in the same area of the circuit at the same time. The Camaro was in that group as well. Where's that car gone?
Oh, it's in 3rd position, John. He's found his way past James Clay and Andrew Davis. Those two changed.
It was the 82 BMW. It was the 82 BMW then. It was James Clay that was closest to the TCR. But I'm not convinced that you could make a case there was a touch there. So Andrew Davis up into 3rd position in the Rebel Rock Racing Camaro. Meantime,
we heard
turn
from him earlier, and he said he thought he had a good race car, and he certainly does. It's been he's just driving it pretty fairly conservatively, but making sure he looks after tires. Former champion, of course, in this category. Let's go look again at it, that incident between number 92 car that's been lapped to number 39. You could argue that number 39 car wasn't 100% alongside him, but quite frankly, I think the number 92 car should have just let him go. Yeah, that was a weird one.
I don't see any marks on the back of the Audi before it goes in. I think he was just
offline.
Yeah.
I don't know whether he was trying to allow room for the BMW to go around the outside, but the BMW didn't seem to.
Well, the BMW was being lapped as was in a battle as well, I think, with the Camaro.
Correct.
Yeah, with Andrew Davis.
He was looking to the inside in any case, or looking to protect the position from the inside. Yeah, that's a shame.
Well, that's
so
thrown.
We've now got.
So what's that done to the TCR standings, Jeremy, as far as the championship's concerned? Because that's 74.
Takes them out of it. And that's pretty much hands the championship to their teammates,
right?
Who are Tom Long and Britt Casey Jr., who are running in 2nd position.
So
we're now got we are 40 minutes into the race, aren't we? Yes. So in a couple of minutes' time, the minimum drive time will be completed, and the drivers can make changes. Teams can make driver changes on the pit lane.
Well, wherever you are tuning in to this final race of the season, final race of the Continental Tire SportsCar Challenge for IMSA, welcome. Those of you at the track enjoying lovely weather, very temperate conditions, nice day to go racing with clear blue Georgia skies. And the pits are opening this time around for GS. Might be a tad early to get your driver change in. It's about a minute and a half still to go, just under that. And I just wonder if anyone will realise that. I'm sure they will. They'll be counting it down themselves and looking at the official clock. Hello to all of you in South Florida and the Panhandle. I hope you are recovering from the awful weather and we're bringing you a little sunshine here from Road Atlanta. Take your mind off what's been a horrible few days down there. Our best wishes, thoughts and prayers with everyone who's been affected by Hurricane Michael. A lot of motor racing fans down there that we normally get tweets from that we haven't heard from this weekend, and I'm hoping that's just because the batteries have run down on your various smart devices. Wish you all the best. Know that power is still out across huge swathes of that part of the world. It's the Fox Factory 120 here at Road Atlanta. No GS takers so far. Still 16, 15. For anybody who's way back in GS now, if they come in anytime from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 now, and there's no GS cars were able to do it. So that's very interesting. So that means the ST and TCR cars will come in on the next lap around, and then there's a third opportunity on what's really sort of an everybody lap. I just had a chance to see, oh my goodness, well, there was no touch between the BMW and the Audi when they went off, but then James Clay and Andrew Davis got together on the exit of turn number 6 and heading into 7, and that's knocked some bodywork off the Camaro. Got the look from Pat Gallagher's car, the Ford just in behind them. Great work by the replay crew on television. Thank you very much for that look. Great stuff there. I'm pretty certain there was no touch from James Clay on the back of Rodrigo Salas's Audi before that car exited stage left. So Jeremy, this is going to shake things up a little bit here, because the TCRs can come in this time around. The GSs can't, because it's the TCR and ST class only. And then there's what's really a free-for-all at the end, and
yes,
all the GS cars will come in.
Yes, during which there won't be, I believe, the class reset.
Well,
so
won't they? If everybody's done it, might it not be a sensible thing to...
I don't know, because most likely the ST cars, they've all been lapped, but the TCR cars haven't, so they're on the lead lap. They all make their pit stops effectively first, because they can make their pit stops this time around. The minimum drive time will have been satisfied, so that should be fine for them. And then whoever comes in next time, I'm sure they won't all probably come in next time around, but the majority will. And if there turns out to be another full caution right afterwards, that will certainly serve those who do come in right away well, because the pits will then be closed again. Although actually no, because it'll be a quicker yellow,
if it's
so
within 15
the pits
minutes,
won't be opened.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But here we
I
go
think
now.
everybody will come in. GS cars are coming in. Not all of them though. I can see a GS car going by. That's Ted Giovanni. There's the 15 going through.
So were the pits not opened last time around then?
The lights were...
I guess they weren't.
Right.
So the pits are open now. Okay, fine. So that takes that strategy call away. So the pits are open just now for GS.
Let's go to Shea Adam at the pit-in end of things.
Both of the Fords down at the far end, the 22 and the 8, are doing driver changes and tire changes. For the 57 Windward Racing car, it's going to be Indy Doncha into the end, and for the 69 Mia McLaren, it is Jesse Lazaire into the flag. Nick, who have you got?
Down with me, got the 76 McLaren. That's doing a full service driver change. Just coming past, we have the 56, the two bright orange Mercedes, also full service. There's 4 cars back there. That's the 65 and the 56. Fueling being done by... Interesting, because kind of fuel being done by both the overhead valve and also a bit of a gallon chug as well on this McLaren. The McLaren Ultra GT4s obviously are single point on the McLarens. It's one of the interesting things they have. Well, they're not 5-nut studs. Shay.
For the RS1 Porsche, it's an excellent stop, because they changed the left side tires with the puncture, they changed the right side tires this time, and put Dylan McIburn in the car. For the 80, the Mustang from north of the border up in Canada, it's a good stop for Martin Barkey getting out and Brett Sandberg getting in, but they nearly run into a tire left in a pit box in front of them. The same situation for the 39 Audi, the Autobahn car. They did a driver change. It's Jeff Westphal into the end, but they had a very slow exit because the box in front of them was blocked with pit equipment.
Just still waiting for the 65 Mercedes to finish. It's interesting. One of the interesting things I just realised about this class is some people have got five the Bureau Racing Car 65. Some have 5 nut studs and some have single nuts on the GS class. So massive advantage in a single stud situation. Okay, I'm wrong. Carry on.
Yeah, well, the McLarens have the centre lock nut, and because that would be an advantage, they're only allowed 1 wheel gun, so they only have 1 person, whereas anybody who's got 5 studs is allowed 2 wheel guns, and that actually balances it out, Jeremy, quite well, doesn't it?
Well, isn't it? It is pretty clever, that, and it does work. And the McLarens, you know, the advantage isn't what it kind of appears.
A very special guest here, and over the tenure of Continental Tire in IMSA, and certainly through our broadcast, Travis Ruffler has had a knack of coming in when we can talk to him. I don't know how you manage this, but
I don't make the cautions, I promise.
TCR stops will come in a minute, and we'll keep our Continental Tire pit reporters busy with that. Let's quickly go to Shea Adam before we bring Travis Ruffler from Continental Tire in. Shea?
Pretty much all the TCR cars have come in, John, and the leader is the first one to hit his box. That is the number 12 E-Euro Parts Audi. It is Kenton Cook getting in, Tom O'Gorman getting out, and the car that came in from second going down to Nick's end looks like they're also going to be doing a driver change.
77 hits its marks now. They're waiting for a falls behind me. The 81 Bimmerworld, the leading car in ST, also doing a full service and driver change. I'm avoiding being run over by the recalcitrant 75, the South American Special Audi TCR. The 77 carries on going full service there as well. So driver change. Britt Caseby getting back into that one. Tom Long getting out. And it's all, you hear that amazing whiz, 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 whiz as all the nuts come off.
Down here for the minis, it is a very clean stop. They are doing 2 tires and driver changes on both of the red cars, and they are trying to do the driver change on the 52 as well, but having a little bit of trouble pulling the car forward to a spot where they can do the work. They had to stack the box because 3 cars going into 2 boxes. Now they're trying to get Luis Pericarpi out of the car and install Mark Pombo doing a 2 tire change and filling it full of fuel, and the windshield wipers are going, so it looks like the Mini is waving.
Waving goodbye to ST and to the Continental Tire SportsCar Challenge. Now, before we get back to action, let me tell you, 2 GS cars did not stop there, because the 15 Ford and the 18 Porsche stayed out there. But I think the 15 Ford is going to come in this time around, and they didn't want to double stack that car. The incident involving 39 and 92. That's the Audi and the Mercedes at turn 1. The dark red Mercedes and Tyler McQuarrie under review from race control. Think that the lead might have changed in TCR. I'll see that the next time it comes round. Right, before we get any more action, Travis Ruffler, Continental Tire. Well, I don't even know where to start. Where are your emotions? Today is the Continental Tire partnership with IMSA in the Continental Tire SportsCar Challenge comes to an end today, and the partnership ends formally after the checkered flag tomorrow. Where do you start?
It's, you know, like everything, it's bittersweet, and we've had an awesome run. The last 9 years have been tremendous, introducing this brand, Continental brand, to motorsports, sports car fans around the world through broadcasts like yours, and introducing this brand out there in the ultra high performance category, and introducing tires like the Extreme Contact Sport.
Developed by active IMSA drivers, let's not forget.
Yeah, developed by IMSA drivers, and you know, it was tremendous to see the reaction that we've gotten from the fans, the teams. You know, walking, when you were down there on the grid earlier, I was there as well, and walking down the grid and all the teams, the drivers, everybody coming up and saying, you know what, we really appreciate the last 9 years and everything you've done. You elevated the sport for us, and you know, it's been a great
couple of points and observations I'd like to make. And one of the things I think was very important was pointed out to me earlier this week, that you straddled the 2 different eras of IMSA American Le Mans Series Grand Am and then the United Series to where we've got to today. I think that was important, A, for continuity, but B, to show other potential sponsors, other big name sponsors, that there was a future. I'm not sure that you're aware of that side of things. I'm not sure that was a deliberate deliberate strategy on your part, but that was very important from the championship's point of view.
No, back when we started in 2010, it was Grand Am road racing, and we got off to a fantastic start with that series, and through the culmination of 13 and 14 to the ALMS combination of Grand Am and ALMS to combine together to make IMSA. It was, I think there was a year or two there where we had to get the momentum going again, and I think we withstood that and held in tight and continued to promote the IMSA brand as we moved out of the Grand Am era and into IMSA era, and it's turned out fantastic. And like I said, it's been a fantastic 9 years.
The activation outside of motor racing has actually been, I think, probably more important than what you've done here at the tracks. Yes, you're a tyre supplier. Yes, we see your branding in places, but it's the other stuff that's added value, and that's a significant investment, Travis, and we thank you for that.
Absolutely. We love being here at the track. We invest obviously in the television at track and all across the board. We want to not only touch the fans that engage us on the television programs, but also within the on-track and on-site activation, touch the fans when they're out here, because these guys are the enthusiasts that really love this sport.
Don't go away. We've got a green flag. I've got a couple of final things to ask you before we let you get away, but we are racing again, and it is that Ford that leads, the 15 Ford that stayed out. Matt Plum has cycled back up to second for the McLaren that was on pole position. He's taken over from Paul Holton, and then everybody else is in third position at the top of the hill. I've never seen 3 cars wide there. At that point, there was bumping, there was boring, there was leaning, there was rubbing, and everyone seems to have got through it. I'm not sure. In fact, we didn't bend the laws of physics just a little bit there, Jeremy. Everyone had hearts in mouths.
That was tight, wasn't it? Some of the gainers during that round of pit stops, the number 28 car, remember that had the puncture a while ago. The flat tyre came in, fell right to the back of the field. Because of that, they were able to top it up with fuel. So when they came in then to make the driver change to Dylan McAvern, they didn't need much fuel at all.
And only took 2 tyres as well.
Yes, well, and that's come out well up the order from where it was. Some of the losers, number 39 car did get going again after that spin, by the way. It was in 8th position. It's now well down the order after a relatively slow pit stop. Number 46 car made up a lot of ground during that pit stop, as it usually does. Number 71 Rebel Rock Chevrolet also lost quite a bit of ground during that round of pit stops.
And a couple of cars coming in after the green flag. Team TGM, the number 4 car, Ted Giovannis out and Guy Cosmo got in, and there was another car came in as well, Nick, which I think was the 99 car. Is that correct?
I think you're probably right. I'm watching the 4 at my end. They have sneaked in strangely late. I'm not sure about how these tactics play out. They certainly didn't come in before. You wouldn't miss that very attractive blue and black Mercedes AMG. So yeah, that's well, I'd say from here, from my first ever Conti race, a tactical mistake. But let's see.
Well, they've got 2 cars.
The reason for that is they were a lap down.
Yeah.
They got the wave around when the other leaders pitted in GS. They're back on the lead lap, but at the back of the pack, they kind of hustle around and then they make their pit stop. So if the course had gone a little bit longer, they'd have been in good shape. But that is why number 99 and 4 car came in after the green flag.
Shea, did they come in straight after the safety car came in though, at the green flag? Haven't you got to do a full lap?
Yeah, you do, and I'm pretty sure that the safety car was parking up as the 2 cars came down the pit lane, and
yeah,
I have to say I'm not entirely sure that the pits were open.
No, I agree with that. Travis Ruffler from Continental Tire is with us, and he's looking at the same pictures that we get in the booth, these Continental Tire SportsCar Challenge competitors in the sunshine here this afternoon. Don't tell me that you are not going to miss this. You are going to miss this with every single breath and with every bone in your body, aren't you?
We've put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this series over the last 9 years. I'm going to miss it terribly, and it's, as I said, it's bittersweet for us to depart, but as I'll say tonight at the banquet to all the racers and drivers and team owners and everybody, it's never goodbye. It's we will see you later. So.
At the moment, the focus, particularly here in the States, is on Major League Soccer. You've done a cracking job for that, and as a soccer fan from Europe, I see that a lot in the UK. We have full coverage now on the satellite channel. We see an awful lot of Major League games over there. Trying to do the same for that side of the sport as what you've done for this part of motor racing?
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, when you're a tire brand and you show up to a soccer event, it kind of doesn't have the same correlation as a motorsports event. But believe it or not, we started with Major League Soccer at the same time we started with Grand Am back in 2010. Yeah. So we've run that gamut with both of those, and we've made ourselves, I believe, really relevant out there in the soccer space. And,
yes, you have.
And committing to that.
And I've seen
as a non-endemic.
I went to the All-Star game with you guys a couple of years ago and had a great time. Right. I can't let you go without asking this question. Already coming up at IMSA Radio, you've said so long for now. So the door's not closed for Continental and motor racing in general, or specifically here in the States in IMSA? You've got a smile on your face, Mr. Ruffler.
Well, as the good book says, when one door opens, when one door shuts, another one opens. So there's never with the purchase of Hoosier Racing Tire, we're in the racing for the long term. So well, we're in it for good. We'll be out on tracks around the country, around the world, no matter whether it's with the Continental brand, the General brand, or the Hoosier brand. We're going to be out there racing, doing something. It's just a question of when the next opportunity shows up.
I'll tell you now, on behalf of everybody here at IMSA Radio, part of the Radio Suleiman network of channels, and everyone who's listened and watched, we owe you a debt of gratitude, not just for our time here, but for the whole of the 9 years. You've changed the face of this sport in everything that you've done, and I know you'll say it's a team effort. I appreciate that, but nevertheless, you're the man here at the moment. I'll shake your hand, Travis Ruffler, and say thank you for the good times, mate.
Thank you so much, John. We couldn't have done it without you either, and thank you for everything you've done for the Continental Tire brand.
Enjoy this race today and the WeatherTech race tomorrow. And,
we will.
You're welcome in here anytime to come and watch that screen, because I know you love it. You're a fan at heart. Cheers, mate.
Thank you so much.
Travis Ruffler joining us here. The end of an era, the end of a chapter maybe, but it sounds like the book is not closed as far as that. Let's go down to Nick Damon and pick up some interviews from the drivers who got out in the first part of the race. Who have you got, Nick?
I've got Tom Long. Tom, who's got out of the car, and of course, you are the champion. Congratulations. Your main rivals have a very dented bonnet and are going no further. You're carrying on. Well done. How's it feel, winners?
Oh man, it's incredible. It's very unfortunate to win under these circumstances. Certainly, our teammates, we wanted to race them to the end. Just an incredible season for not only myself but Britt Casey Jr. He's sitting here finishing the car up. Maybe we'll go for that win right now because we can be a little more aggressive than we originally anticipated. But just hats off to the Compass Racing team. Just an incredible season, so much effort, and Britt's taking care of our Trump number 77 right now.
It looked very busy in those first couple of laps. And how mad was it?
Yeah, it was busy. It's a balance, especially here at the end of the year. You take a risk, and you might regret it for the rest of your life potentially. So being smart, knowing when to make the moves. But some of those GS cars, our RS3 Audi is just so strong that it's quicker than the GT4 cars, which is just incredible.
Tom, thanks and congratulations.
Luis Pericarpi, driver of the number 52 Mini. How much fun was that?
Yeah, that was incredible. It's a dream come true. Most people know, I've been wanting to do this all my life, and I was a kid, wanted to design race cars and race them. And I'm 50 years old now, and I've been building race cars, and we've been really competitive. And today, last race of Conti, last race with Mini and IMSA. So it was really cool. Colin got to go represent the United States and England, so the seat was available for me to have my dream come true. So it was a lot of fun. It was amazing out there.
So today marks the start of your driving career then?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, that's what I've always wanted to do. So today proved that I only had like 20 laps in the car before the race. I didn't get to qualify. I actually made a mistake in practice and over-revved the engine and damaged it, so I didn't get to practice or qualify. So basically, I went straight into the race with like 20 laps under my belt. Never been in a Conti race in my race car, so it was not so much nerve-wracking. I've been in other situations. I race off-road, and it's kind of same deal. But to race at this level in professional road racing in the United States, in the Conti series, which is massively competitive, so yeah, incredible. It was a blast. I made a few mistakes early on and tried to keep up with my teammates for a while, and I did that, and then the GS cars came in, and those guys are fierce. So I try to pick my line to make sure I didn't get in their way and try not to lose too much ground to my teammates, and we kind of did that. The yellow came out, so it helped us pack up. So Mark is in the car now, so it's awesome.
Fairy tale has only begun. Good luck for the rest of the race.
Thank you, Shay.
Could hear the emotion in Luis Pericarpi's voice there. There's a lot of emotion. I mean, it was a real opportunity for me in the countdown to green to walk down that pit lane. The guys that I normally only see helmeted up, suited and booted up behind the wheel of the cars, to go down there. First of all, I scared the whatnots out of them because they were expecting to see Shane, not me. And secondly, there was a real atmosphere, a real family atmosphere down there, but a lot of emotion, and Luis Pericarpi, you could hear that in his voice there. And that's good, because that's what racing should be, Jeremy. It should be that.
He's a lifelong passion for the sport. He was born in California. Family is part American, part to Chile, and he moved to Chile. That's where he grew up as a kid. Came back to the States. He served in the military down there. He'd always wanted to get into racing. He was a very accomplished crew chief in the IndyCar series for many, many years. Set up his own team, runs his own cars, builds off-road trucks, you name it. Luis Pericarpi has done it. Now he's finally added that extra string to the bow as a professional race car driver. Hats off to you, Luis.
A little bit of a problem for the 46, our champions elect. Can we say champions? Maybe we can now, because it looks like the under tray on Hugh Plum's number 46 Mercedes AMG GT4 is flapping a little bit. Owen Trinkler started that car. I avoided having a chat with him down the pit lane and spoke to Hugh instead. I expect this to be quite an emotional Owen Trinkler as well. Is he smiling, crying, pacing? What's he doing?
He's listening on the radio and smiling. Owen, congratulations. What more can we say about that? Fantastic.
What a year. I'm so thankful for the opportunity that Ted Giovannis gives us, and for Hugh and I and Guy, and what an unbelievable season we've had. And just got to say hello. My wife's here in the infield. It's our wedding anniversary today, so I mean, we're celebrating two great things in the championship, and the car's pretty good. We've only put 2 laps on it just in qualifying yesterday, and we made a small change, put some wedge in it a little bit, and see if that's going to get a little bit better. It's a little too free, but Joe said at the end of the run we were the quickest car, so you'll see what happens here in the long run. The Mercedes-Benz AMG is going to be really good. I got to say hello to my boys back home, and I'll see them here in a few days.
We'll just say there might be a slight dip in the under tray at the front. Did you go over anything in your session?
Yeah, it's probably bottom out a little bit as you come off the curb at turn 3 there. We haven't run, so we only did 2 laps this weekend. We know our team car was having some issues with that also, so probably something up there in turn 4. I noticed that when he was going through turn 1 also, so I don't think it's affecting the car at all. The biggest thing for us, we're just a little too free coming off the corner. It's sliding just a little bit, so we try to tighten it up, see if we can settle that down, power on, especially out of 1. It's really bad. I got sideways a couple times up the hill. When you think you're okay, 3/4 of the way up, it wanted to step out on us, but just what a season. I can't thank Ted enough.
Many congratulations, well done, fantastic stuff. And one thing I think I'm pretty sure that I did notice, John, that the 12 lost the lead in TCR during those pit stops.
Yes, you are absolutely right. And Kenton Cook is fighting back against Britt Casey Jr. Lost it to the 77 Audi. Yeah, Kleinerbing not that far behind in the 75. So the TCR Audis are 1, 2 and 3, 77, 12 and 75. The Compass 77, one of the grey and orange cars, has got Kenton Cook right with him as they come almost side by side down the hill. Kenton drops in behind going through the final corner in the white and blue. That's the number 12 car that was on pole position, and into the pit lane and behind the wall for Eric Voss in the Murillo Racing Tangerine number 56. With engine steaming and coming in, having not stopped in that rotation, the number 15, the dark grey Ford Mustang. Shadam.
Ty Majeski getting into that, and they're giving him 4 new Continental tires and a lot of fuel, as well as the number 80 Mustang just came back in. They gave him left side tires and topped him off with fuel, but this is the first service for this 15 Mustang. And we are also expecting a little bit further down, a couple more cars are standing up on the pit wall as well. Are we at the point where we're halfway, and perhaps Jeremy could even know that they can go from here?
Yeah, 51 minutes, I think, remaining. So, yes, they can. A little bit of bumping and boring coming out of turn 7 in TCR. And it's one of the Volkswagen Golfs that's right in the mix there. That's the a little hand out the window there of the EU reports. Audi, as they came out of the corner and headed down the hill in behind the number 77. So that's first and second going by, lapping one of the Golfs, and much to the chagrin of Kenton Koch, felt he hadn't been given enough room. He's got a good run down the hill though, and once again it's right on the tail as they come on the front straight. That was Patrick Wilmot, I think, who's behind the wheel of that Golf. Yes, it is. He's just come out of the pit, so he's on his outlap on colder tyres as the leaders go streaking by him.
Yeah, so he wants to try and stay on the lead lap with his if possible.
Too late. Too late, it's gone.
Another critical pit stop a couple of laps ago, number 19 car that been running so well early on with Ari Balog, handed over the car to Gregory Leifouge, but unfortunately I think it was the wheels were rotating while the car was up on the jack stand. That's a drive-through penalty. He has Leifouge, having got himself up into 6th position, has fallen now a long way back down the order with that penalty. So that's a really unfortunate occurrence for Stephen Cameron Racing. But the other BMW, the Bimmerwald car, is in 2nd place now with Tyler Cook. He's chasing as much as he can after Matt Plum, who's taken over from Paul Holton in a leading Compass Racing McLaren. In the classes, ST led now by the BMW once again. It's just has that car just come in? 76 car. Oh, 76 has just come into the pit lane. Well, that's not on time, is it? So there's something wrong there. Well, they're thinking they can get to the end from here. From here, first opportunity to get the end from here. The Ford number 22 has come in as well. Nick Damon is watching the pit stop for Matt Plum in the number 76 Compass 360 McLaren.
Interestingly, a single tyre change, the front left. So I'm not quite sure why he's only changed the front left. But
it's the one that gets the hammer, Nick, that's all.
Looking at the one that's come on, and now they're doing the rear left as well. They are hiding the tyres, so they're doing a left side change. In fact, this front left does look a bit unpleasantly damaged, but it may just be from braking onto the apron. Fuel down, no drive change, off they go. And that's my end of the pitch, Jay.
They did left side tires for Austin Cindric in the 22 Ford and no tires for Robin Liddell in the 71 Camaro.
Robin Liddell does love a challenge, doesn't he? He really does. Let's quickly run down the standings then. In ST, it is the BMW number 81 that leads by 5 seconds now over the Porsche in second, and that would be good enough to give the BMW the manufacturer title. Just coming through, he's just gone through. There goes the Porsche, and here comes the first of the Minis. Is Mark Pombo going through in Mini number 73. So Mini's 3rd, 4th and 5th, and they need to be ahead of that BMW that leads. In the TCR category, heck of a battle going on, and Kenton Cook has got by Britt Casey Jr. So Kenton regaining the lead for the number 12, EUReports.com. Rover Oils sponsored white and blue Audi ahead of Britt Casey Jr. in the first of 2 TCR Audis from Compass 360 Racing, because he's got his teammate pretty much in his wheel tracks, Pierre Kleinerbing. So 77 and 75 now, 2nd and 3rd at the front of the field, with pit stops beginning to start. And this, Jeremy, will set off, I think, the domino effect, because nobody wants to get caught on the wrong side of a pit stop or a full course yellow. So let's see who wants to roll the dice. At the moment, Tyler Cook leads for BMW number 82. Jesse Lazar in the 69. Mia McLaren is second, having taken over from Corey Fergus. Hugh Plum in the championship winning 46. Mercedes-Benz in 3rd position, ahead of the 57 Mercedes of Indy Donchi for Winward Racing. Mixed weekend for them. Nick Damon with another Continental Tire pit lane update.
Yeah, just a quick report. We've had the number 8, the Volt Racing, the Multimatic Motorsports 5th place overall. Chad McCumbee, Patrick Gallagher, Ford Mustang coming in and through. And we also saw the 39, the Tyler McCrory, Jeff Westphal, Carbon Motorsports Audi R8 also complete these serves, which now seem to be mostly fuel and perhaps left side tyres. I see no one doing 4 tyres at my end of the pits. Shea May no different from her end, but it looks like it's just left side, which takes the pounding round Atlanta, and enough fuel to the end now.
It is officially a retirement for the 56 Murillo Racing Mercedes. Jeff Mosing and Eric Foss driving that car. Foss is now walking around with his helmet in his hands, saying thank you to the crewmen.
Very classy indeed. 45 minutes still to go. I think everyone have done their driver change. Nobody has missed a pit stop, so nobody requiring to get in the next lap, or so is the point I'm trying to make. Although some are choosing to come in. Nick Damon.
Yeah, we have the 46 in. We've just spoken to Owen
TCR Mercedes.
Who just Owen Trinkler, who's because they've won the championship by just carrying on going. But Hugh Plum in the car takes it out again, and that was just fuel only, John. So they're obviously happy with their left-hand side tyres and launching the car back for the final 35 minutes.
45 minutes on the clock. So that car back into the fray. Tyler Cook leads the race in the Optima Batteries BMW, the number 82 car, which was involved in a bit of barging and bumping early on, crosses the line in front of us and heads down towards turn 1. Jesse Lazar in the Mia McLaren in second is just about a second or so behind. 3/4 of an hour still to go here, Jeremy, and this one is not over. The 2 leading cars still to make their final pit stop, and it could be won or lost in the pits.
Yeah, absolutely right, it could, and that's why we're seeing teams some of them not taking on too many tyres. They want to make that pit stop as quick as they can. They're only in for tyres, only 10 or 15 minutes to go, so not that long. They want to try and make sure that these tyres will go to the end. They're going to have to be a little bit conservative, but I'm sure everything is pretty much under control there for those teams, and they make their pit stop now. If there is another full course caution, then the pits will be closed, and those cars that have not yet made their pit stops will have to wait until the pits are opened, and they will lose a lot of ground by doing so, because then when they pack up behind the pace car, safety car, then they come into the pits. Those who have already made their pit stops will be behind them, but they will move on ahead as the other guys lose time at making their pit stops.
And depending on how quickly the top 5 make their final pit stops, Kenton Cook could lead this race overall here. He's only 40 seconds, not even 40 seconds behind the leader, and I think they're probably good to the end. So at the front of the field, the cars that still need to make a pit stop, I think, 82 Tyler Cook BMW, Jesse Lazar 69 in second, Indy Donchi 57 in third. All of these guys will need a splash of fuel, at least a splash of fuel to get through. 38 Porsche in 4th position. Now, when did the 19 BMW come in? Gregory Lefugia.
Well, he made an extra pit stop a couple of laps ago. Of course,
yes, they did.
But other than
in comes the 38 Porsche now. So that one will drop down the order. This elevates Kenton Cook up into 5th position overall, the TCR leader, as he goes past us now. So that's 4th position for the EU Parts Audi. And Audi's 1st through 5th, but there is a Golf right in there at the moment, although a lap off the lead, question mark, he says. Is that car in the running? Yes, it is a lap off the lead. I was just checking to make sure that Golf was a lap down, and it would come out of the pits. 46 Hugh Plum with TGM claiming the Drivers' Championship, running at the moment at Mercedes-Benz in 16th position, just ahead of Robin Liddell, who did not take any tyres in the Rebel Rock Camaro. It was fuel only for that car, and that is exactly the same for the number 38 Porsche as well. That has just been in. Nick Damon was watching that for me. So, Jeremy, who's in the best positions here? It's a tough one. It could cycle back, it should cycle back around to Matt Plum, of course, depending on how far the guys at the head of the field go and how quickly they can turn the cars around. And McLaren number 76 is currently in 11th position, is just about to come upon the TCR top 5, which are all Audis. And that's going to be the interesting conundrum for Matt, as if he can keep his pace up.
The TCR cars, can they go to the end from here? I'm not honestly sure if they can.
38, they're past the last. So they only pitted 8 laps ago. Check that, they only pitted 7 laps ago. I reckon they can, you know, Jeremy. I think they can go to the end from here. So, of course, if it goes yellow, there'll be a class split.
Yes.
If it doesn't,
well, that's where I was going with that one. And here is our race leader, by the way, making his final pit stop, Tyler Cook in number 82 BMW. So that will put the MIA McLaren through to lead on lap 46 with 40 minutes remaining in this race.
And let's head to Nick Damon for a Continental Tire report with the 82 Optima Batteries BMW.
He's coming in right now. It's a very wide sweep in, I suppose you can. It's a very clear pit lane. Hits his mark. Bang. Drivers come over. It looks like he's going to get left-hand side tyres. They're offering and already changing the front left. Car has a bit of damage on that front left side. He's definitely hit something lightly, taken a couple of the dive planes out. I've been told it was the Camaro earlier on, and so it's got a bit of a bill from Munich coming next week. The rear left is changed as well, left side only. Very leisurely drop down off the air jacks there, and away he goes, fully fueled and off goes. So that's no driver, but 2 tyres and fuel, John.
Now the question will be, where does he filter out? Mini's gone through. Here comes one of the Mustangs and one of the Mercedes-Benz, and there's Matt Plum going through. Hugh Plum, excuse me. He's got out ahead of the McLaren. That's absolutely key. He's ahead of the 76, and now he's got to go through. It's got to try and go through at the top of the hill. He's got out ahead of the 76 car, and Matt Plum has got to try and get through, whilst that BMW is just on its outlap, and I don't think he's going to do it through the S's. My goodness, they turned that car around quickly. So Tyler Cook then has given up the lead of the race now to Jesse Lazare in the 69 Mia McLaren, but at the moment he's got his mirrors full of the pole-sitting 76 McLaren from Compass 360, and Matt Plum is on a mission. He did his stop earlier, and he's got to make that pass stick. 39 minutes to go in ST. The situation had the BMW leading for a long time, still leading, and the gap back to the 73 Mini in second, and that is the championship battle. There is nearly 10 seconds, but that Mini now is ahead of the Porsche number 21 in third. So it's BMW, then Mini, then Porsche 1, 2, 3, 81, 73, 21 as far as ST is concerned. That was a heck of a job by the BMW team to get Tyler Cook out ahead of Matt Plum. Now, Jesse Lazare then, in theory, will need to stop even less the further he goes into the race in terms of the fuel going in. Mia McLaren, been such an unlucky season for the McLaren cars this year, the McLaren teams. And Shea Adam is down at Mia McLaren. Any sign of movement?
Oh yeah, the mechanics are even holding the tires, which they normally do the lap before the car comes in. And indeed, the blue and white and black McLaren hits the entry to pit lane. It's coming in now, John, and it will be fuel and at least 2 tires for this McLaren and Jesse Lazare to try and go back out and defend the win that he got 12 months ago. It was the program's first win when they got it at Road Atlanta in 2017, looking to try and defend that, and they're going to have to give Jesse every option that he possibly can have. He comes in, perfect stop, the fuel hose goes in, and they are going to do right sides first, the right front. Are they going to change all 4? Well, they've got the 2 on the right side left out. The front right is complete, working on the right rear. And waiting for the leader to come through just to see where we are in position.
And
the air jack
it's going to be the BMW that will be the virtual leader, because Tyler Cook has got by Matt Plum. Is Jesse Lazaire rolling?
No, this is a 4-tire stop, and they left the fuel hose in as long as the car was up on the air jacks. That's a lot of fuel that went into that McLaren, so Jesse can run full attack the entire rest of the way.
And 4 new Continental tyres is the key there. No chance of getting out ahead then of the 82 BMW. Tyler Cook is the top, I reckon, the top spot now of the cars that have made their final stops. He's got by Matt Plum that time around and pulled out a second. Still got the TCR cars ahead of him, of course. So it's 82, 76, and then 69, I believe, before Chad McCumbee in the number 8 Ford, 4th of the cars that have made their final stop in the GS category. Incident involving the number 80 Mustang, Sandberg's behind the wheel of that car, and the number 71 of Robin Liddell under review.
That's where that car slipped back.
Robin Liddell down to 14th position. So 76 Matt Plum in effective, I reckon, second position, having just been passed by Tyler Cook in the black and white BMW. Indy Donchi and Gregory Leifouger still lead and have not yet stopped. Big slide from Robin Liddell. Well, he was sliding, but he got some help from the number 80 Ford. Brett Sandberg really needed to have lifted off there and give Robin Liddell an opportunity to try and save that. Didn't tip him into the slide, but he certainly helped him to make a 180. I think that'll come down pretty squarely on the shoulders of Brett Sandberg in that number 80 Ford that he shares with Martin Barkey. So Indy Donchi and Greggy Leifouger, 17, 18 seconds between them now. And the key number is the gap back to Tyler Cook. And Tyler Cook is absolutely flying at the moment, even though he's in TCR traffic. And the gap between himself and the leader is down to 22 seconds. Now, I don't think he can get in the pit lane, fuel the car, and get it out in those 22 seconds. So I'm going to say Tyler Cook is your virtual leader when the 57 Mercedes of Indy Donchi and Gregory Leifouger in the 19 BMW have to come into the pits. That's always assuming we don't get a full course caution. And Brett Mosing doing his best to cause one there between 6 and 7. The far end of the circuit to us, but he's got the tangerine and white AMG GT4. Number 65 pointing in the right direction. It's coming down the back straight now. So this one is one of those races that isn't going to become obvious with half an hour still left and a few minutes more than that until all the pit stops have played out.
Yeah, that's right. 38, how far is it? 43 seconds. Indy Donchi is ahead of Matt Plum, who's catching up to those TCR cars now. Kenton Cook still leads that category, third place overall in car number 12. There's a replay going on here. Whoops. That's okay.
That was Brett, and a masterful piece of avoidance by the Mini, doing a bit of rallycross, the number 37 car, and that's 4th position in ST. Lots of emotion down on the grid earlier on. I'm told by McLaren Philadelphia that the GT4 doesn't have multiple maps, so it's flat out all the time. Well, certainly no fuel saving then, no lifting and coasting for the guys in the Mia McLaren. Jesse Lazaire had one of Shea's famous performance-enhancing cookies yesterday, I hear. So that's worth probably 2 or 3 tenths a lap, I would think. That statement has not been ratified by the FDA, IMSA, or any racing organisation. When will the Mercedes number 57 come in? He was last in on lap 28. That is 23 laps ago. So he doesn't need to come in now. Last lap of 1:30.9 for Indy. Tyler Cook, though, at 29.8, has now cleared the TCRs, and that's why they've got to come in. 40 seconds, the gap between first and third. That's the time that the Winward Racing team have got to work with. Just 40 seconds. Tyres to go on that car, surely, with 30 minutes still to go, to give them the opportunity. Remember, only 2 tyres went on Tyler Cook's BMW. And that got them out in front of Matt Plum in the McLaren, number 76. It's the Compass 360 car. I reckon that actual third now is still the 1, 2, 3 will be Chad McCumbee in the number 8 Ford. Tyler McQuarrie in heavy TCR traffic at the moment, with VWs and Audis to deal with there. 28 Porsche in the mix earlier on, and to the match event in 8th position now on the road. That's 6th in GS, but actually that's knocking on the door of a podium finish. The car ahead is Chad McCumbee, and that's the car I've just mentioned as being, I think, in a net 3rd position when everybody else pits, as the 57 Mercedes is in the pit lane. Leader in the pits, Shea Adam.
He'll be getting at least 2 tires, John, as mechanics are up on the wall clutching 2 Continental tires. They are scrubbed rubber, though. They're not completely new tires, so that should help Indy get a little bit of heat in them and get them up to speed a bit quicker. It will be fuel as well, as we expect, and the fuel nozzle goes in first. It is left side tires, so I would imagine this is left side tires only. If they were going to do all 4, they would have done the right sides first, working on taking the old tires off. They've already done that. Now installing the new Continental rubber onto this Mercedes AMG. All sounds like it's going according to plan. Fuel nozzle comes out, car comes off the air jacks. Indy Dodge told go, 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 and indeed he does.
Go, 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 and he has gone, gone, gone. And little cheer from the pit lane there. They've turned him around quickly. Where is he going to cycle out? Let's see. The car's coming through. Joins in. There's Tyler McQuarrie. Excuse me, it's Jeff Westphal now, so he's dropped in behind there. That's going to put him in, I think, 4th position when this all shakes out. No, make that 5th position when this all shakes out. No, I'm going to say 4th. I was right the first time. Stop second-guessing yourself, kind of. When all the pit stops are said and done. So now only the number 19 BMW to make its final stop, and when that does so, 24 seconds further back down the road, Tyler Cook will cycle back to the lead for the last 25 minutes.
And here is the BMW onto pit lane now.
That's perfectly done. Well spotted, Jeremy. So 24 seconds from about now, Tyler Cook will go back into the lead. Nick Damon can watch this car coming in out of the lead.
Yeah, attractive white, orange and black BMW M4. There are, again, a very expectant selection of mechanics. 2 tyres in hand, which we are pretty much sure now be left-hand side only. Let's see if they hit some marks. Oh, so that brown colour from a distance actually is shades of pink, isn't it? It's a light pink, a medium pink and a dark pink. So there we are. Long distance colour vision going. It's first thing to go, John. The 19 car just spins it through, and they are... The Stephen Cameron racing car is becoming a very standard stop, John. Fuel still going in, 2nd tyre. Both tyres just about changed. You can probably hear in the background the whiz of the air guns. Ready to drop down, and he leaves in a very standard stop, and he'll join probably somewhere in the 5th or 6th place, I think.
Yeah, it's not a bad guess, Nick, as I look back down the field. And drama for the Camaro, coming in with problems on the left front of that car. Shea Adam Robert Liddell has a problem.
A very dark smoke coming out of the left front of that car, and it looks like it has been through the wars today, John. A lot of contact to the right side of it as well as it comes to its pit box further down towards Nick Damon. But the number 80 Mustang has come in as well, and this car with the MBRP logos on the side was not expecting to come in. The AVA crew was sitting back on the wall, and all of a sudden, Brett Sandberg brought the car down the pit lane. It is right front drama.
So, yeah. So by my reckoning, Jeremy, and you can confirm this, as they go across the line now in front of us, Tyler Cook is scored back in the lead.
Correct, on lap 55. The second place car goes past us. A big gap back to the third place car. And it is now the number 8 Ford Mustang just ahead of number 28.
Let's go back to Nick Damon in the Continental Tire pit lane report.
The 71, the Camaro, is effectively on fire. Now, it's hard to tell because of the, I can get one side of it. It's on the brakes. Now, whether that actually is just pickup that has then caught fire or a more serious, he's not going out, which makes me think he is burning. So I'll tell you what, when you get close up, look at the left-hand side of the, so the right-hand side of this car, it has been smacked, and smacked hard. There's going to be, the BMW 82, there's going to have to be an exchange of documents about that one, I can tell you, because that is not going to rub out. Let me just stick my head in and see where the actual fire is. A bit smoky. It's coming off the back. It's quite low. It's almost like it's coming off the back of the caliper. And I wouldn't put money on those brake pads being exactly located properly either. I think it might have had a little minor failure or perhaps a tiny leak of fluid. So he's not going out. It's certainly not a tyre build-up. I'm not sure what they're going to do. Driver stayed on board, but and they're now screwing back the wheels again. So Rob Liddell stays on board, but yeah, my guess was they were probably going to pull this round again. Because it doesn't look quite right, and it's still smoking away merrily, and down it goes.
Thank you, Nick. Continental Tire pit lane report. 25 minutes to go. Tyler Cook back in the lead, and that lead is now 9.5 seconds.
So it's grown. 28 car though is up into third position. He's just got past Chad McCumbee, has Dylan McAvern, the last year's champion, of course, in this category. And right with them too now is Jeff Westphal in that Audi.
Now, I just wonder how much fuel they got on board the 76 McLaren and how fast Matt Plum can run to the end. Because Tyler Cook came out right in front of him after his pit stop, and that was only 11 laps ago, and he's now 9.5 seconds away. That's not quite a second a lap, is it? But it's not that far away from that. Chad McCumbee is perhaps sniffing a chance of a second place here. And Dylan McAvern.
He's just lost the position to McAvern.
So McAvern, sorry, yeah. Sniffing a chance of second position there. Yeah. And as I say that, Matt Plum gets down to a low 31 for the first time for a little while. Traffic will play its part out there, of course.
The leader, Tyler Cook, lapping consistently in the low 1 minute 30s as well, so he's extending his lead.
39 Audi getting alongside Chad McCumbee for a moment as they went down in the braking area at turn 10, but he was on the wrong side of the Modspace Multimatic machine. So Westphal and McCumbee are having a cracking battle, and he's still there. He's still there as he comes down the hill side by side, and through he goes through the final corner. Well, they must have almost been side by side around the whole of turn 10A and 10B. That is extraordinary. And as they go up the hill at turn 1, what a pass that was. What a pass that was. So time counting down. Kenton Cook, by the way, has solidified his lead in TCR, his 9th position overall. And I think we can say that those TCRs will probably go to the end now. Number 12 in Europarts.com, Rover Oils, a sponsored car, has what, 26, 11 seconds, no, not that much, 7 seconds ahead of Casey Jr., but has the McLaren of Jesse Lazare, the Mia McLaren, alongside it. Or in between them, rather. Indy Donshi just going past Chad McCumbee into the braking area. McCumbee in the Mustang, no straight line speed. The Mustangs haven't been that quick in a straight line this weekend. And much fresher tyres on the Mercedes of Indy Donshi, who now pulls the Windward car up to 5th position, having put the number 8 of Chad McCumbee, the blue and white Mustang, down a position. Then it's Austin Cindric in 7th in the 22. Kyle Marcelli has the 60 Ford in 8th position, and Jesse Lazare back inside the top 10 for the Mia McLaren. So Tyler Cook now with a 9.3 second lead. So for the first lap in a while, Matt Plum just taking a little bit of time, a 10th or so out of the leader. Indy Donshi, man on the move at the moment in the silver, red and black Sonic AMG GT4. Just over 20 minutes to go. Casey Jr. taking a bit of time out of Kenton Cook that time around, couple of 10ths in the battle for TCR.
Yeah, that's going to be a question of who can look after their tyres as well, because those front-wheel drive cars, again, they're very well balanced, but they can be pretty hard on their Continental tyres. Both of those two doing a really, really good job there. Stephen Simpson's in 3rd place, and he's not far behind either. He's another 4 or 5 seconds behind that little battle.
ST leader, the 81 BMW. Oh my goodness me, 3 cars wide on the back straight. And the number 15 going almost onto the grass to get by a couple of TCR cars. That's Ty Majeski behind the wheel of that car. And he's in a bit of a battle at the moment with the Porsche number 18 ahead of him, and they went either side of TCR machinery there, trying to keep that battle burning away. BMW number 19, Gregory Lee Fouger, still battling away, 10th position in GS, and in fact just goes up a spot on the overall as well, and that will put him into 11th position. And overall, he's only got Kenton Cook to get by now. And that means that there's cars between 1st and 2nd in TCR. As also through goes the number 80 of Kyle Marcelli, side-by-side action in TCR. Heading down the back straight, the 2nd of the EU Reports car, the number 10 machine. Nicole Pontier giving absolutely not an inch to the Compass 360, number 75, Pierre Kleineming, and that is a battle for position in class, 4th and 5th. Carpentier goes through. Flapping the outside portion of the right rear wheel arch extension on that Rover Oils Europarts.com car. Well, I reckon now, Jeremy, all the GS cars at the front of the field are in the right order in terms of having made their pit stop. So really now, it's about who can coax the best lap times for the last 17.5 minutes.
Yeah, so Tyler Cook is doing a really nice job at the front of the field. He's very nice and consistent laps in the upper 130s now, but that's just fine. He's just edging away just a little bit, just a 10th or 2 of a second a lap over Matt Plum. It's just over 10 seconds now. It's going to be interesting to watch Dylan McAvern and Jeff Westphal. They're battling for 3rd position, number 28 and 39. Well, they're coming actually side by side down the hill to turn 12 as Tyler McQuarrie Jeff Westphal, I should say, makes that move in a carbon Audi. Great move that was coming down the hill. So the Audi is up into third place. That car finished in third place last time out. I was told this morning by Jeff Westphal they are confirmed for next season and expanding to a 2-car team, at least for selected races.
Oh, wow.
And they're going to be starting off running 2 cars at the Sebring Encore next month. So that's great news for that Carbon Autosport team. Peregrine Racing involved as well. Steve Dineham, one of the team principals, Mark Siegel.
And are they going for the that's a GT4 car, that isn't it?
GT4 car, yep.
Audi just announcing their GT3 Evo kit. That's a very reasonable upgrade price of under $30,000, I think I read somewhere. And it's on display at the Audi Pavilion. Got the chance to see it earlier in the week, and it was racing, of course, in VLN 8 last weekend, which we covered on one of our sister channels on the Radio Show Limited network. Still doing its testing before the Evo gets into the hands of teams. But as an upgrade kit, I seem to remember over €100,000 in the early days of GT3. And to have that down under $30,000, well done to the guys at Audi Sport. Makes the car look even more evil, wicked, mean and nasty. Nick Damon has seen a late stop for one of the motor cars machines, the Murillo racing cars.
machines has come in. It is going to get top up with fuel. They are starting to work, and the jacks you hear and the guns are for both the rear tyres. I'm not sure they're going to have the front as well. Can't see. Those are scrubbed tyres going on, both league and qualifying. He's made a mistake there. He's pushed it on wrong, and some of the pre-stuck nuts have fallen off, so it's a bit slower getting it back on again. Fuel finished, and yeah, it's rear only. So would guess he's been playing with the rear too much. He's used the rear tyres on a very rear heavy, very biased machine like the GT3 AMG, and the oversteer is getting unpleasant. I don't think it's the requirement for extra fuel. They've got a few seconds just in case they can go hell for leather now, but yeah, that's probably a case of setup issues or being a little bit excited about things going around the corners.
Nick Damon with that Continental Tire pit lane report as we're inside the last 15 minutes of the IMSA Continental Tire SportsCar Challenge season, and indeed of Continental Tire SportsCar Challenge. Tyler Cook, 10 seconds to the good. Matt Plum matching him last time around, but not able to take any degree of time. Jeff Westphal for Audi, number 39, in third position, the fastest man at the top of the timing screen last time around, faster even than Indy Donchi in the 57 car, which is coming through the final corner now.
And it's just overtaken number 28,
Passing position.
Yep.
That's fourth place. And that's another overtake coming down the hill. That's a very, very entertaining spot for us spectators. Tough pass to make. So that puts Dylan down a position to fifth. So Donchi for Winwood Racing, the second Winwood car not taking the start after Russell Ward lost the car in the S's and damaged the chassis. It's a hit into the wall with the front right of that car. AMG's been in the wars this year, those AMG GT4s. Had a couple of issues at Courtland this time last year, a little bit later in the year actually, last year, when the cars were having shakedowns and contact with the wall had chassis damage. Had a couple with issues through the season, including one for Winwood, of course, when Bryce Ward went off backwards at the inner loop at Watkins Glen. And what looked a relatively innocuous incident. The car was quite badly damaged, and he also lose another car there when that went across the track as well. So you've got to be careful with these GT4 cars. Remember, they are based on a street car shell, not a purpose-built racing car as the GT3s and up. Although Mercedes, with a couple of other manufacturers deciding to add the GT3 bits, quite a few GT bits onto the GT4 cars, so things like the dashboard, some of the suspension uprights, last couple of stops in the last 11 minutes that Nick Damon has just seen with his Continental Tire Pitting report.
You don't miss the 40, it's bright pink, the Ford Mustang, and also we had the 92 Mercedes, the red one, which I think was involved in an accident, wasn't it? A few laps in. So, but again, I'm quite sure why. Whether they just nothing to lose, they want to put some new boots on and have a bit of fun, or they've got the fuel counting completely wrong. But there's no other reason to come in 9 minutes before the end, is there?
Well, other than was that their second or their third stop is the question. No, that was only their second stop for the 40, so they couldn't have got to the end with what they had on board, Nick. They've actually... Oh, it's just changed over, I was going to say. When was the last time that they were in? Most people... The Ford number 15's only done one stop. A few of the GS cars have still only done one stop, and I'm not sure that's helped them really, because they've had to ease their pace off so much. Ty Majeski was last in on lap 39. We're on 65 now. So that's, even by my rubbish arithmetic, 26 laps. So he's going to be tight to get to the end. No such problem for our leader Tyler Cook. Meantime, battles for TCR are hotting up again.
Yes, second and third is very much up for grabs now. Stephen Simpson has closed right up onto the tail of Britt Casey Jr.
Britt Casey Jr. in the 77, mainly grey Audi from Compass 360, grey and orange. The 360 racing colours, and comes down the inside, sticks his nose in, coming down towards the final corner. It'll be a brave man that finishes that one off, and Stephen decides against it. Takes a bit of curb on the inside of the final corner, not always the best thing to do there. Maybe just lost a little bit of momentum, couldn't get on the throttle quite as early through turn one then. Britt Casey Jr. getting back on the power, the Audi 4-cylinder engine driving the front wheels. TCR 4 or 5 door body shell, 2 litre, maximum of 2 litre engine, driving the front wheels. Simpson all over Britt Casey Jr. for second at the moment. Down through the S's, now through turn 5. And has the Mercedes GT for the bright tangerine Mercedes coming through from Murillo Racing. Now that's going to put a car between the two battling TCRs. In fact, he's gone past both of them, and that's cost a bit of momentum for Britt Casey Jr. as he comes through turn 7. Mercedes hasn't quite gone by. He's dropped back behind the third place car of Stephen Simpson. Now the Merc will blast through on the back straight. Meantime, Dylan McAvan has got Kyle Marcelli with him for 5th place overall.
Yeah, he has. That's a pretty good battle that's developing there. As Kyle Marcelli really has been flying.
Yeah, turn 5 now.
Yep. And I had been watching the Audi in 3rd place. It was whittling the gap down to the McLaren ahead of it in 2nd place by 67 tenths a lap. But on the last lap, Westphal lost a fair bit of time.
Oh, massive dive up the inside at 7. For the number 60 of Kyle Marcelli, doesn't get it done. That Ford Mustang looks huge compared to the RS1 number 28. Now that car, that Porsche, remember, was leading the race when they had a left front issue, and they've done really well, used the full course yellows and some pretty good driving, it should be said, Jeremy, but they've got themselves back in the hunt here. Only 12 seconds. Now, wait a minute, that's not right, is it? Arithmetic. I was going to say only 12 seconds off the lead. No, that will be a little bit more than that, actually. But not much. Now, here is an interesting development down at the 81 BMW crew. And that is the leading ST car. They've got a fuel hose out. And Shea Adam is down in that area of things. Nick Damon is down in that area of things. And this will mean a stop for the leader in ST, and he's only got 7.5 seconds to the Mini. He's in the lane now, and the Pombo Mini's already gone through. Drama at the end here for the pole sitter and the leader, Nick.
Yep, comes in, they're waving the wand as the lollipop man leans over. He's not hit his marks yet, so this is obviously a massive miscalculation or an unexpected drain of fuel. Hits it now, stops, they run round. They're just going to put it on to the minimum number of seconds. Interesting to have to open the boot to get the fuel in, and there's a massive implication for the Manufacturers' Championship here, John. They're still putting fuel in. You thought we had a 2-second stop, but this is going to be a nightmare for BMW in their attempt to win the Manufacturers versus Mini, and he's away now, but this is way too late.
Well, not sure what's happened there, Jeremy, but Nick David with that Continental Tire Pit report right on the money. Mini are in the box seat all of a sudden, but we've seen problems for Minis in the dying embers of races down through this season. They've had zero luck in the closing stages.
Yeah, that's right. It's been this is going to be a nail-biting time for that Mini team at this stage. Here's this battle going on here between Dylan McIvern and finally Carl Marcelli makes that move stick. So he's up into 5th position now is Kyle Marcelli in car number 60, the Ford Mustang. Tyler Cook leads by about 8 seconds now. He's just cruising along there again, lapping now in the mid-31s. Matt Plum in second place.
That's all he needs to do.
Absolutely, he's got a comfortable 8-second lead over Matt Plum. Jeff Wessel, he's up to he's the fastest, one of the fastest cars on track, as is Indy Doncher, who's trying to track him down. He's only a second and a half behind between the number 39 Westphal Audi in 3rd position, Indy Doncher, number 57 Mercedes in 4th. Also in TCR, Stephen Simpson on the last lap did find a way past Britt Casey Jr. So 2 changes of positions for the podium in 2 separate classes.
And down through the years that we've been covering the Continental Tire SportsCar Challenge, by the way, that has been the story. Significant changes in positions right up to and including the last lap near the last corner.
Yeah.
So don't write the headlines yet, as we always say. Shea Adam has done what I expected her to do for our Continental Tire Pit Lane reporter. She's been down to Mini and asked the question, does the 73 have enough fuel to do the next 5 minutes? Shea Adam.
It's the hive mind, John. Yes, they do. They just had to reset a fuel valve sensor, but they are good to go.
Oh, okay. Well, let's hope that that is giving the right information. Tyler Cook has gone through. The 73 Mini leads ST, and that means Mini sneak into the lead of the Manufacturers' Championship. Hugh Plum just going past and putting a lap on there in the champions as far as GS drivers are concerned. Oh my goodness me, there's going to be a party tonight.
Yeah, going to be a lot of emotion down there as well. You remember a couple of years ago, this team, they battled through the first year. They got their first win right here at Road Atlanta. So to win the Manufacturers' Championship would be huge.
Such a shame we can't persuade Mini to build a TCR car, but they come under the BMW empire, and the front-wheel drive TCR car, I think, will be the new 1 Series that shares a platform with the new Mini, therefore will be front-wheel drive, and it'll be a 1M that will be the BMW touring car. That's the rumour that I'm hearing. That's why no one's been allowed to convert a Mini into a win. So BMW's at the head of the field, BMW Mini at the head of ST, but BMW losing in the last 9 minutes the chance to take the ST Manufacturers' Championship. But Tyler Cook just easing his pace a wee bit now, not taking any chances. He'll not be using too much of the curbs, listening for all those horrible noises.
The Audi in the 3rd position, Jeff Wessel, is now only 3.6 seconds. Yeah, it's hard. The gap from 7 seconds just 3 laps ago. So Westphal hasn't given up on 2nd place here in that number 39 Audi, and he's just edged away just a little bit from Indy Doncher on the last couple of laps. Well, actually lap, but Indy was a little bit quicker. But those two are amongst the fastest cars on track, along with Gregory Learfuser in car number 19. Great battle, by the way, back for 4th, 5th in TCR. Lee Carpentier and Mikey Taylor from South Africa. They're in a fabulous battle, numbers 10 and 11.
Yeah, and all of the Audis, 1st through 5th, 14th down over. The Continental Tire horse is on the starter stand. A number of different reasons as to why there's a horse on the Conti logo. The best explanation I've had is that way back, the founders of Conti actually produced rubber covers for horses' hooves.
Tell you what, there's not much between second and third now as they head into turn one, John. Look to the left over there.
Indeed.
Both had to deal with a little bit of traffic though on that time through.
Yeah, Westfall almost right there. And there's traffic here for the 76 McLaren. It's not going to be a win for them. And Matt Plum has had to lift off, and Westfall's right with him now, coming down through the S's. There'll be one more lap, I think, after this. And they're trying to get by the 77 of Britt Casey Jr. Britt's just staying on his line at the moment, doing exactly the right thing. The leader is behind the 54 of Stephen Simpson and just takes him down the inside going into 7. There's a lot of anxious faces, and Matt Plum is under pressure now for second place for the McLaren. Tyler Cook is going to have one more lap when he comes round this time, but the real battle is behind that BMW on the back straight. Who's on the back straight first? I don't know. The white flag is in hand for the last 2.54 miles of the Continental Tire SportsCar Challenge. And I wonder if the checkered flag will be in hoof rather than in hand with the Continental Tire horse there. Now there's the leader that's gone through. Let's wait about 8 seconds and look back down the start-finish line. Here comes the McLaren and the Audi. They're absolutely together across the line. 2.5 miles. Tyler Cook leads it. All the action behind. And by the way, Carpentier and Taylor looked like they were an 8-wheel Audi as they went past us. Brilliant. Unbelievable. Battling right to the end of the tenure of Continental Tire, and the checkered flag will not be black and white, it will be black and yellow for the final ever checkered flag in Continental Tire SportsCar Challenge. It's on the start-finish gantry now. What a run by BMW, what a run by that number 81 car, Jeremy. They have played it perfectly, weren't faced when they took their 82 car, weren't faced when they took their early stop, and Tyler Cook has paced this perfectly.
Yeah, really, really good performance by James Clay and Tyler Cook. They've worked so hard for this. They've been knocking on the door so many times this season. They had a great start to the season, struggled a little bit in the middle, but what a result this would be for that Bimmer World team.
Take a deep breath, everybody. 9 years of Continental Tire SportsCar Challenge is coming to an end. And it is in hoof. Through goes the leader. The yellow and black checkers, especially for this race, are shown to be BMW at the line. The Audi's gone missing. The Audi's gone missing. Matt Plum's gone through, but there's no sign of Westfall, so can Donchi come through onto the podium? He can. And there's all kinds of dirt on the side of the left-hand side of the Audi, so there was drama on the last lap again in Continental Tire. Meantime, the biggest drama perhaps yet is in ST. TCR, by the way, won by Kenton Cook and Tom O'Gorman for eEuroparts.com and Rover Oils. But the Mini, number 73, is coming to the line, and this will not only be a win for that 73 car, but it will elevate Mini to the Manufacturers' Championship. In the last championship in IMSA, that will be won with a car with a stick shift that you have to heel and toe with 3 pedals. Now that, Jeremy, is really the end of an era, and the fact that it's going to go to Mini that have been around for so long, there's something that's kind of fitting about that. We'll wait to see the Mini across the line before we talk to some of our leaders and winners now. Down towards the final couple of corners, the front-wheel drive Mini. The John Cooper Works name lives on in motorsport. Magnificent stuff in the topsy-turvy world of Continental Tire, and Mini win the Manufacturers' Championship as well. Let's go down to our Continental Tire pit lane reporters and pick up some of the winning crews. Shea Adam first of all.
Tom McGorman, the last ever TCR win on Continental Tires in this championship, and it goes to you and Kenton Cook. How good does this feel?
That feels incredible. You know, we came into this midway through the season. E-Euro Parts gave Kenton and I the opportunity to come in. I know he couldn't feel more fortunate. I definitely couldn't feel more fortunate to have the opportunity to be here. We would love to be doing this next year, and that was a great way to finish this year, to have a ton of momentum into next year. So just can't thank Rova enough for the sponsorship, the partnership, and everything in Euro Parts. This entire group behind us here is done. Kenton and I do a small part of it, and it's all for them too. So incredible work, as I would expect from Kenton. I had a blast out there. Everything was great.
Great job to you and the whole crew today. And Nick is with a very happy James Clay.
James, great win. Fantastic. Another win for the BMW and a fantastic way to finish the season and the last Conti race.
Absolutely. You know, we're thrilled. You know, we've been working hard in this GS BMW GT4 all year long, and man, it came together right in time, right? What a great day. What an awesome team around us. You know, really kept this car at the front all season long. Our ST car wins the championship. It's a pretty good day.
James, congratulations, well done.
Mike Lamara, you were a little bit nervous about 5 minutes ago. You hung on, though, for the last ever ST win as a former champion in this class. How much does this mean?
Oh, this is just absolutely fantastic. We're really happy for Mini. We have everyone from Mini here, from corporate. It came down to the last drop of gas, really, so we were really nervous, but we're so excited. We're excited for them, also Bimmer World, and they've had a great season as well, and we're happy to take this one home and win the last ST race. I've been an ST for a long time, and so it feels pretty sweet.
And to get the Manufacturers' Championship as well, congrats.
Thank you.
And just with Nick Galante, what can I say? What happened?
Well, we did great. We won the Drivers' Championship. We had to stop for a splash. We thought the other guys would have to as well, but we guessed wrong on that one. But I'll tell you what, we still got the Drivers' Championship, and we're still on the podium with a good third place finish. Devin Jones drove a great second half of the stint there, and hats off to all the guys this year in the whole ST class. It was a great run-in with all these guys. You know, the body motion guys and the Mini JCW. Really fun season.
Well, I should say congratulations and bad luck.
Yeah, we'll take it. Not a bad problem to have to settle out for this.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, true enough. Well done and bad luck. You're a champion, but you lost the race at the end. The Minis coming through. I think I'm most emotional about that, Jeremy, that the
brilliant.
Minis that have come through. Luis Pericarpi's just done a great job. He was racing here this weekend, and for a brand that's been in motorsport as long as Mini, particularly in the type of motorsport we've covered here down through the years, it was great to have them come in. They built up such a big following, and for them to take the last manual transmission race and the last ST race as well, and that ST category, absolutely the essence of what, you know, John Cooper would have loved that today. He would have.
I mean, you know, they've got people from dealerships that help them out, and local technical centres from Mini to come along and help with the race team. You know, it's not a factory supported program per se. It's a small group of people who work really hard. They've got great drivers, and for the local team, you know, local drivers here, Matt Pombo, his dad Pepe had a huge amount of success here back in the 70s and 80s. It's wonderful. It's just really thrilled for that entire team. They've worked so hard. Mike Lamara, former series champion, gets himself back on the top of the victory circle, and that pairing's third win of the year, I think, and it couldn't have come at a better time.
In TCR, the class that effectively takes over from ST. They've been running alongside this year, but it becomes the second class alone next year. Third place in the number 77 for Britt Casey Jr. And after the demise of the 74 Compass car, enough for the championship. Shea Adam is talking to one half of the new champions in TCR, the first champions in TCR.
Britt Casey Jr., Mr. Champion, along with Tom Long in the 77 Compass Audi. We knew in the weekend coming in, you guys were going to have to do everything you could to maintain the lead. You did a podium finish, and now the championship. What are your thoughts right now?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. You know, we had one goal in the main. Well, we had one main goal, and that was championship. And if we could have gotten the win out of it, you know, great. But we honestly didn't really care about it. Feels great to win here, and you know, TCR champions, Tom Long, the only guy in the paddock that you can never say no to. Rumor has it, by the way. So yeah, you know, I mean, Compass Racing, Trump, Hart Machine Tool, as well as Audi Atlanta. Thank you, as always. Oscar Mike Foundation as well. Wow, I'm pretty pumped up. This is, yeah, wow, what a season. Whew.
Congrats to both of you. The GS champion is with Nick.
Hugh Plum, fantastic result. You are the champions.
We're the champs. TGM are the champs.
You were very nervous on the grid going into the race. Did you feel more relaxed once you had the 46 underneath you?
You know, it's just it's such a mixed bag of emotions. It's like, you know, here we are to race. We just have to do a lap. We win the championship if we do a lap. Like, what does that mean? But we did it. I got in the car, did what we had to do. The Mercedes GT4 car was, again, flawless. I can't say enough about the Giovanna's family, everything they've given me.
Could you feel there was a problem with the problem with the under tray? Could you feel the issue?
Yeah, I felt something was wrong. I just didn't know what, and I just didn't really care. I just wanted to get to the end.
That must be the best 11th place you ever had.
Yeah. If we were dead last, I'd be happy with that. But never will that happen with this team. Unbelievable. All year. Flawless. Unbelievable. All year.
Thank you. And now my teammate with his teammate.
Well, Owen, 12 months ago, you won the race here at Road Atlanta, knowing that you were jobless. Now you're GS champion. You finished every single lap of the season. What are you feeling?
The emotions. This day's been building since Laguna, and I'm just so thankful for Ted and Hugh, and he's a great co-driver, and Guy Cosmo, and everybody on this team. And I'm just so thankful for the opportunity that Ted's given us here. And the Mercedes-Benz AMG, awesome car. They delivered a car 1st of January at Daytona, and this car completed every lap, and it's the only team to do that in the series. And that shows the consistency that we have. We didn't have the fastest car always, but we played our strategy right and kept it clean at times and just had a great year and just unbelievable. It's starting to set in. I mean, we got through that first lap. It's a little sketchy there because we'd only ran 2 laps in practice and qualifying. So the car's a little bit off today, but she hung in there great today, and I just can't thank Ted enough.
She did everything she needed. Congrats.
Thank you.
Owen winning at the circuit that he first came to as a child to watch his dad racing old Lola. Champions for TGM. Jeremy Shaw, how do you sum up that season? How do you sum up Continental Tire Sports Car Challenge? I'm not sure, but action and drama all the way.
Yeah, brilliant. Absolutely tremendous championship has been, and yet another manufacturer winner there with the BMW. It's the BMW knocked on the door a lot of times. James Clay and Tyler Cook, they finished on the podium 3 times in the first 4 races, but that is the team's first win, the first win for BMW in GT4.
Jeremy Shaw and John Hindorf, that's me. We've been in the booth all of this season and for the previous seasons of the Continental Tire Sports Car Challenge. Shea Adam has been our Continental Tire pit lane reporter, joined this weekend for the final ever Continental Tire Sports Car Challenge race by Nick Damon. We offer our thanks to Continental Tire for the 9 years that they have been in partnership with IMSA and with Sports Car Racing. We'll miss them as sponsors, as partners. They will miss the activation, but we'll miss them as friends as well. We hope that the championship continues in the same vein next year with a new name and hopefully exactly the same amount of action. Thank you, Continental. Goodbye.